Da-da-da. No, I like those pliers. I like those pliers more than these pliers. If somebody's gonna lose a spot, it's gonna be the pliers I like less. I get to be yellow again, and all it required was the accidental realization, the epiphany. The chat window. It should be. Is it on screen share? No, that's just spooky. You can't see my chat window. My chat, that window, operates completely independent of the stream. So I had to log back into that. Like, not this, not the whole OBS thing. That's a whole different thing, apparently. One would assume, foolishly, that they would be the same. But it is not. Oh, full of pizza sounds like a good place to be. Early involuntary unconsciousness.
Well, we're full of burritos.
That is, I'm full of burrito, and I'm really kind of sleepy. It's made me a little sleepy, but I've got, we got stuff to do. Oh, I didn't bring them. I'm gonna walk over here. What did I do with them? Okay. All right. Okay, preface. Things are in the condition that they are. Nothing that I have is worth shipping to Europe. Let me lead with that. Wild Peaks. No foams. 1.9 Geolandars. Also no foams. And 3 good Duratrax approaches and one that had a little bit of an accident when he was getting removed. You can try gluing it back together, or I can throw them in the tire pit. Look at them. They're in like perfect condition. Or maybe you just need 3. Anyway, I need to get rid of those, and I need to stop. Blue silicones, green silicones again. This is not all of them. I have 2 more sets of these and 2 more sets of these. I literally don't have room to hang any more silicones. That doesn't count the... I didn't look through tires that are currently mounted to see how many have silicones in them. So it's a lot. Thinking and getting a 5th crawl in the works. Yes, at least 5.
Always.
Sending a lanyard to Canada from the U.S. is over $200. Yeah. The shipping to Canada is getting... Like, if you're sending anything more than a letter, probably just don't send it.
Huh.
Yeah. Some sort of tire glue will glue this back together. I tried gluing it a couple times, and it just kept coming back apart. So, yeah, these blues have been run maybe once. I mean, not that matters. Just be aware. Keep it in your mind. 2 sets of green, 1 set of blues. Geolanders, Wild Peak MTs, approach-ish. At least 75%. Oh, and a set of grunts. I have a set of grunts. I dug these out of the bin. And they have the stock Proline foams in them. So, the usual. Send me an email. Otherwise, I won't know what you're talking about. If you say that you want it here, and I go, okay, I'll send those to you, I've already forgotten. No matter how many times you put it in the chat that you will take them, it's gone. If it comes in an email, it might turn into a thing. Otherwise, you take your chances. Email has more of a permanence to it. Yeah, the BSI glue is great. I feel like I'm using the words and no one's listening. I have tried to glue that rip in that tire multiple times and it won't stay glued. I'm going to leave it at that. Hey, Charles with 5. Thank you, Charles. And look, Mark Saxon got hit right off the bat. The green would be too soft for the TRX6. No, not at all. Not at all. For the rears on a TRX6, the greens might not even be soft enough. You need a tire that has a pretty thin carcass. Like if you're running something like J-Concept's green, you can get away, you just shim them. But yeah, TRX6 needs really, really soft inserts for the rear because the tires are so close together. I have 5 crawlers and an H10. How many is too much? I don't know. I'll let you know when I get there. Whatever too much is, I feel like I haven't arrived there yet.
You've hit it already.
My lady and I would love to visit you sometime. I'm always here. I had to drive 1 mile to get a burrito. Hated it. Hated it. Almost ran over an old man in the parking lot because he was literally walking with his head down. So apparently it's not generationally specific. And then he decided to make the sharp hook turn right in front of where I was driving.
Maybe he thought it was his time.
He thought it was his turn. I was in his way, I guess, ultimately. It is time to die. Is that the masks? Yes. Wizard! So, hey! Jimbo with 10. Dropping the 10. JC NorCal got caught. I'm seeing a lot of regulars getting caught now. Did I see somebody say, what's the email? What's the email? Crawler Canyon. Gmail.com. Oh, Organized Chaos has gotten the Aztecs. That is good to know. The number of crawlers you need is always N+1. That applies to anything hobby related. Bicycles is always N+1. Crawlers is certainly N+1. When you start giving away RC crawlers away to make space for new builds, you may have too much.
Exactly.
Or not enough space. You're looking at it like the glass is half empty, my man. You got to look at it like the glass is half full.
Yes, you do have a limited space.
Watching for years, and I still don't know what you look like. Middle sliders, man. Generic white dude. Looks pretty much like all the other white dudes. It's, Mr. Mythigan got caught, too? I didn't see it. Rich Jeffries, Antos Holm. I've seen that. I've seen a lot of these names come up before. I guess people rolling off and then getting caught again. Chief Inspector Dredd. I've seen these names. I recognize many of these names. DRZRC, yeah. I am riled up. I'm full of burrito and salsa. Driving is awesome until you have to do it around other people. Yeah, and I live in a place where there's just all of the other people. All of the other people live here. I'll see how much of this I can get done, you know? Because last time I used the screen. Yeah, I mentioned it in one of the build videos. Whatever you do, don't try to download the manual for this because the PDFs are 1 page at a time. So you have to download like 50 PDFs. Did I throw the box? No, good. I have a place to put the wrappers. Did you get the tracking number I sent you? Yes, I saw it on the Discord. And I don't know if you saw on the Discord, Mr. Hurley, but I'm just going to buy a 60 kg and just have it shipped directly to you. Rather than take the one in the box here and pay to ship it. I buy them all the time anyway. Might as well just have Amazon take care of it. A glass isn't half full or empty. The container is the wrong size for the volume of liquid. All right. It's a way of looking at it.
6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
All the other people are here in the winter, but we don't have winter here. So those The people never leave here to go somewhere else. They just stay here.
We don't do that whole vacation thing where you leave for a month.
It's not a surprise when you order the special editions because the number's on the outside of the box. He got 003. 003. Maybe I can just do it on my phone. I don't even remember what order. I don't remember what order things are supposed to be put together too. And you were going to send the inner fender with the panhard mount too. Yes, I am. Oh, I'll just mail that separately.
That could go in a mailer.
Yeah. Oh, that does remind me. I can do it while I'm standing here. So you need, not that one, not that one, not that one. There's that one. Do you need, Mr. Hurley, do you need the one that is for clipless or the one, or a regular one? Like, that's a regular one. Oh, but that one's been cut. You don't want that one. That's the right front. We need the LF. Okay. There's left front clipless. And I'm almost positive. Oh, then I have left front wide. So I'm not 100% sure which one that... You can't say regular one. Because we've got a narrow one for clipless. We've got a really wide one. And I think I have a non-clipless front, but well, I've got the cut one. What is it going in? What is it going in? Like, this one is trimmed right here, but it's only trimmed like 1/8 of an inch. So, as a matter of fact, what I could just do, stop being a goofus, I can just send you both of these. These are Jolly Green's old front fenders. So you'd have a match. You'd have a match here. And nope, right rear. I'm convinced that I have them. LR, LF. No, that's a Defender one. I said I was going to send it to you, and I'm going to send it to you. RF. Nope, that's a Defender one. If I don't do this right now, I'll forget. It'll be gone. RR. I'm losing my mind. And this should give you some insight as to why I am willing to give some fenders away. I dropped my phone into a bucket of paint today. No, that's not good. While we are on TRX 46, are the spiral cut ring and pinions worth it, or just go Traxxas standard? If I'm buying them and I don't have them, just get the AMK ones. I don't remember if they're spiral cut or regular cut or what kind of cut they are. Just buy those. I can't tell if he told me to stop looking. LR, RR. That's Defender. I didn't even know that the Defender had gone to clipless. I thought, like, the old Defender, the fender's attached actually to the body. There's another big wide one. All I'm trying to find is the companion to this one. The one that says RF on it. And it's been out here the whole time! All right. Okay. All right. So those, wasn't I supposed to send something else? Oh, a sticker. A sticker. You wanted a sticker. What color do you want? What color sticker do you want? Let me advance that by saying I have white, and I have green, and I have red, and I have black. Those are the colors I currently have. I've got to figure out how to get rid of, you notice these are a little bit longer. I don't know if I went into the experiment of. I have a box of envelopes that I'm never going to get all the way through because on Amazon a small quantity of envelopes is 500. I have made no dent into my box of envelopes. He would like a black one. So I said I have number 10 envelopes. Obviously, that means 10-inch decal. No, a number 10 envelope is 9.5 inches. So you have to cut your decals to be 9.25, so they'll actually fit into the envelope. So these are the new ones that I've been sending out. Anybody who sent a message or an email, I realize this is going to be a fairly small overlap, but if someone sent a message or an email asking for decals, I sent them. Bag A. Bag A, bag B. Don't need that. J, G, C, D, F, K, E, J. Speed control, B, H, L. I'm losing my mind. D, C, E. I don't have a bag A.
Which one was the first one you said?
I said bag A first?
Yeah.
Then where did it go?
Bag A.
B. P, J, G, H, I, J, L, I, J, L, K. I, J, K, L, B, C, D, E, F, P, M, N, let me guess, O, O, Q, G, and H. I don't have a bag A. Did I pack bag A into that Traxxas bin? I'm not saying it's impossible. No. I did not. Okay. I believe bag A is the chassis rails. You're absolutely right. So all the body mounts are indeed in bag B. I would have lost it. I mean, so here's what I'm building from. That doesn't work. Here's what I'm building from. It would be nice if that was slightly bigger, but I can't see chat.
Why don't you put your wizard on the bench?
So that's not going to help. That would be counter to what I need to happen, because I need to see what order things go on in. And if I put mine on here, I'll go, oh, well, that's there. And then I'll bolt something on out of order. I'm not saving any more Ziploc bags. I have too many Ziploc bags. This is brought to you by the letter Y and the number N+1. That is, N+1 is the number. Tens. Okay, what? Yeah. Oh, boop! I had gone to saving a lot of Ziploc bags, and now I have. I'm midway through building that AliExpress thing, and I can zoom. Zooming helps. And my goodness, every single part of that, unlike how this object just comes in bags that you cut open, you know, like sealed bags. That thing comes, every part how can I best illustrate? So this would be in its own Ziploc bag, and then that Ziploc bag is another Ziploc bag. No MAGA hat. That is the true statement of the philosophy that is not a party until the wieners come out. You have a mother bag of Ziploc bag of bags? Yes. Yes. Oh, I can take you right, come with me, right into the depths of madness. So this is my drawer of resealable bags. They come in all sizes. McMaster will send you. Somebody requested the mother of all Ziploc bags. There's your 3-gallon Ziploc bag from McMaster. McMaster has a Ziploc bag for every purpose. There are some in here. Is that one even bigger? No, I think that's the big one again. McMaster has some bags that are 3 inches wide and 2.5 feet long. Because it's a pretty good size one. This is what happens. This is what the whole place looks like. And then anytime I need a Ziploc bag, I just dig for it for 10 minutes. And I probably should have just... I mean, how could you throw that bag away? Look how nice that bag is away. And then you start to sound like an absolute lunatic. I've got my very favorite collection of Ziploc bags, which is insane to me to say it even now. I gotta stop getting distracted. An end goal in life is obviously bag full of other bags. Or, alternately, drawer of bags. Now I know where all the Ziploc bags are. Yeah. I've got a drawer that's 24 inches wide, 30 inches long, and 20 inches deep, stuffed with Ziploc bags of different sizes. It's too many bags. I go on the purge every once in a while, where I'm like, we're hitting a threshold. Gotta slap some links together. We're just gonna do this in order. We're gonna do this in order. I was mentioning to someone, don't remember who, that I built Wizard 1 all in one sitting. Just did the camera, chopped it into 30-minute long chunks, and just built the whole thing all in one session, and then did the Ghost Ride right after. It was fairly straightforward. As far as kits go, the only real shame, the drawback of all drawbacks, is that, no spoilers, but the 2 things that I built back to back were the Wizard and that kit from AliExpress. Let's just say there's a qualitative difference between the 2. I believe RC Family asked earlier on if I had tested the Klingon. Yeah. I absolutely have. Some time ago, probably about a month ago, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks ago. Max Paul, this is a Wizard. This is an OT6 Wizard. This is the Canyon's second Wizard. This is the blind guy's Wizard. You only keep the best quality bags in a purge. That's true. That's true. If it has any holes, rips, or tears in it, it's gone. It's gone. If they're the Ziploc bags that they like to ship Chinese crawler parts in, and it is impossibly thin, like 1 mil thick plastic. Like, I don't know. I don't know where you are, wherever you are. If you've ever been to a Costco, Costco has the thinnest straws on the face of the earth. If you did this with a Costco straw, it would probably crack it. It's like single-ply toilet paper. Like, we've gone too far. Now you have to use more of that thing, and it would have been better. Oh, the water bottles that they give away at like events, those super cheap water bottles that you can buy at like Walmart, where the plastic is literally 1 molecule thick, where you can just crush them up like that. You've seen them before, Evian bottles. Look at that plastic. It's fully opaque now. I've refilled this bottle so many times. You can't refill those other water bottles. Those water bottles are like, I want to destroy the earth and I'm active in it. When is the next Batch of Wizards coming out? I have absolutely no idea. I'm not in the industry. I couldn't tell you. But I can tell you this. Amain said their next batch expected May 12th. Don't take that as gospel. Log into Amain. Go in Amain and go to the wizard page and see what it says. That's what it said yesterday. I mean, that and $5 will give you $5, but I don't know. That's what I read. I don't plan on buying another one. 3 in one place. Yeah, expected May 12th on the site. It seems excessive.
Okay, Mister, I want 4.
I am going to build another 10 Pro, but that's neither here nor there. So Mr. Hurley asked, "What's a purge?" And it is the movie, the fairly terrible series of movies that have no faith in humanity at all. That like if laws were suspended for one day, everyone would just turn to murder. I don't think that's actually the case. I don't think that fear of legal ramification is the only thing that stops people from murdering. I think most people don't want to go out and murder other people. I'm not saying that I have an excess in faith in humanity, but I'm saying that I don't think homicide is the first thing. I think stealing is the first thing that comes to people's minds, because people view theft of goods or property as a victimless crime. I think that's how a lot of people talk themselves into it. Murder is a whole different thing. If laws were suspended, and I think I'm surprising even to myself, there's no one that I can think of off the top of my head that I would immediately think, oh, well, get in the car. We're going to go out and murder that guy. I can't think of anyone that I would just run out to murder. So, but I mean, we'd all steal stuff, Pink Compound Reefs Crux, not really interested. I bought the Reefs Crux, the regular ones, and they weren't bad. What they were, it was woefully underwhelming. I have higher expectations. I had lowered expectations for the Upgrade RC, and they both did well. So, Reefs is just building a kit, long form. They only need a couple more things, and they'll have themselves a kit. But I don't want to be the guy that just actively comes out and says, sticks of servos, but, it's an easy throwaway thing to say. Maybe sticks of servos. The tires were relatively unimpressive. I had hopes. How are you liking the Boom Racing axles? They are startlingly well made. They really are. BRX 70s, 80s, 90s. Boom Racing cannot make a tire to save their lives. But boy howdy can they make an axle. They really can. And when I have 36 hours of free time to start building that BRX02, I'll get to put into use another set of Boom Racing axles. Murdering lines is perfectly fine unless it's a red cat, then you're just lying. It is a curiously high amount of copium. It came up on the Discord where somebody was saying that some channel like just tested the Ascent Fusion. And I was like, man, there's late to the game, and then there's that. Thing's been out forever. I've been finding there is something akin to a drawback when it comes to things like this, okay? The Wizard is not mass-produced. This is basically handmade. And I found on mine, and I'm finding on this, there are times where, like, I just had to get myself a number 11, pop out a little number 11, because the little pocket right here for the front link needed that amount of plastic shaved off of it. Now, I will take that 100 times out of 100 over the instance where the hollow ball slops back and forth inside the socket. I will gladly take, oh no, they've machined this so tight that I've got to kind of whittle it a little bit with a knife to get it to go together. And maybe part of that is that my original, where I started, how many of us started in plastic models? I was a Revell monogram testers in that realm, if need be. But let me tell you, I was a Hasegawa man. It was all about Hasegawa. And I built models religiously up until I discovered these things. And then I was like, wait a minute. You build it and then you get to drive it around. That kind of like that really jumped it up a level. And I have plastic models from the 90s still in the boxes that kind of overlapped the time. I've got a Williams F1 car where the tires have probably actually rotted away, but I can't get rid of it. There's a box up in the loft up there that still has models that I built 40 years ago. And then what happens is I ask myself, why am I holding on to this stuff? Like, what am I actually doing? And the true fact of the matter is, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm doing too many things at once. What I never got into, cars and boats. I don't know why. Airplanes first, and then armor. Airplanes and armor were my jam. And I started off doing basically exclusively airplanes. I was an airplane guy. And then I discovered tanks, and discovery of armor went along with why I love a patina body now, because doing armor was like mostly patina work. I'm not a hoarder, I'm a collector. Yes. Driver 8, also bigly into Tamiya and Hasegawa. Yeah, Gundams. I see Gundam kits and I'm like, oh, want one of those. And then I'm like, no, you don't. You have plenty of toy cars to work on. And they always have them at the craft stores. There used to be a local drugstore here called Long's Drugs. And for whatever reason, I don't know, somebody in the purchasing department, something, I don't know, just a regular drugstore where you went to buy Q-tips and stuff would have Hasegawa models, which made no sense, but I wasn't complaining about it. And also not priced correctly to Hasegawa models. Like, they were the same price as if you were buying some standard level Revell stuff. Oh man, the Gundams. So there's a store in the mall, our one of our closer malls, that sells, like, it's called like Tokyo Express, and it's a bunch of anime related stuff and whatnot. They have a whole wall of Gundam models. It's right next to the whole wall of the, like, these guys, but the ones that make me uncomfortable, if you know what I mean. Like, if that's what you're into, that's cool. Everybody's got their own thing. But when I see them in the store, maybe I'm old, maybe my prude level is getting higher. But when I see, geez, how should we state this in a way that shows that I'm from the 70s? When she's jubbling, when there's big jubbling going on, I'm like, I could not buy that, take it home, and put it in a place where anyone else could see it. Curious to know if a bad ESC can blow out the number 2 channel of multiple receivers. Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, it could. I've never seen it, but I don't see why it wouldn't. If the BEC is on the squirrel and it's given too much sauce, yeah, receivers can only handle a fixed level of amount of voltage, and some receivers can handle a smaller fixed level of voltage than others. So yes, that's absolutely possible. I would get a lot of my models from a store called TG&Y. Listen, Mr. Truitt, you're not that much older than me. I went to TG&Y, and then we would go to Thrifty across the parking lot and buy 15-cent ice cream cones. Now I just told you I'm from the 70s.
What the fuck is TG&Y?
TG&Y? It was before your time. It was like tiny Kmart.
Because I know where the Thrifties is. I've heard of Thrifties, but not TJ&Y.
TG&Y was in the same shopping center on Highland and Sterling.
Yeah.
TG&Y was right next to the supermarket one, and then Thrifty was at the end. So they were right across from each other, and it had that smell, like that older, like, I don't know, I think it's linoleum. I think it's that gassing out linoleum smell. We don't get that smell anymore. Every time I've ever purged old models or anything I've held onto for no reason, I instantly regret it as soon as it's out the door.
Yeah.
Same.
Memories.
Memories. I bought Airfix kits, were hard until I tried Hasegawa. I think it was an F-16. I can guarantee you I built a Hasegawa F-16. Built a few models, but they always ended up the color they came in because I hate painting. I can kind of relate. That's why, you know what? Who said Benjamin? Benjamin, armor is for you. Armor you basically paint after you build it. My uncle gave me about 40 Tamiyas when I was a little. Ruined about all of them. Built them for years. Nice. My first RC was a Tamiya Hornet. I was not a Tamiya guy. Everybody in my neighborhood was. I'm looking to buy one of those when they come out. Love build watching from the UK. Check around mid-May. I was in the 70s, but only for about 15 days. Hobbytown is the best thing I have nearby. Everything else is online. And don't forget, Hobbytown is just a main. I follow a bunch of people who do scale mech models a lot. They pull out some genuinely impressive work. Some of those dudes that do the battle damage and stuff and the weathering, it is like, it's next level. That smell, you could stop there, and those who know. Yeah. Yeah. I got all my models from the local pharmacy and or hardware store. Yeah. I lived there as a kid. I remember that TG&Y. Hey! The original Phoenix hobby bench that closed this year opened in 1976. Woolworths. We had a Woolworths in the mall, and the Woolworths was at the same end of the mall as, wait for it, yes, the GTE Phone Mart, which was the only place you could go to buy a phone. Yes. Tell the Gen Zs, tell the Gen Alphas, you had to go to a special store to buy a phone to use in your house. They won't believe you. They won't believe you. I was there. It happened, and I almost don't believe it. We're bag C already. We're clipping. We're clipping. And I haven't missed putting thread lock on anything because nothing has needed thread lock yet. Hobbytown is A-main, but slower. You know what else Hobbytown is great for? They're A-main. They have the same stock system, the same website, the same everything. If I need something specific that I don't want to have to wait for ground shipping, I will say, oh, I'll go look it up on the Hobbytown website and I'll see if they have this Tamiya in stock or this Spastics paint or something. Check store for details. Guys, it's 2025. Inventory, if you look at the way businesses are operating, it seems like it's getting harder to keep track of inventory. They don't do inventory. DNI. Do you know how many racks at those places just say DNI on them? Oh my God. How many of you live anywhere near a Hobby Lobby, or as I call it, Horby Lorby, for no reason? Hobby Lobby, I think my wife has this theory that they don't scan barcodes because they think the barcodes have the devil in them. I think it's as good of an explanation as any. But they are still over there entering numbers manually. Do you have any idea how many SKUs they must carry in a Horby Lorby? It has to be an apocalyptic number. What are they doing? Like, you can buy all manner of things there. And a girl working at the register. I've never seen a guy working a register at a Hobby Lobby, ever. Just punches in the price, $2.99. And everything is on sale. And how do you track inventory? How do you track inventory when like nothing is logged or tracked? Everything just has a price tag that says Hobby Lobby, $3.99. And beautifully, and a big reason to constantly go to a Hobby Lobby, even if you disagree with their religious principles. I don't let religious principles get between me and commerce. They will have prices on things that are just off the wall. Like you go to buy something simple, Gorilla Tape, right? You go to buy Gorilla Tape. It's the same price everywhere. It's like $6.99 a roll for, and I'm talking about this stuff. So the Gorilla Clear. If I go to Lowe's or whatnot, this is $6.99. And then you find it in 3 separate sections of the Hobby Lobby. It's in 3 different places because you might use it for 3 different crafts. And it's a different price in every section. The one that, it was silver Sharpies. It was silver Sharpies. We were in the Hobby Lobby and they had silver Sharpies in multiple locations. And they were
chrome paint. They
were $2 cheaper in one set. Yeah, we were looking for chrome pens. So the silver Sharpies in one section were $2 each less than the silver Sharpies in the other section. It's wild. It's the Wild West over there. Like, what are they doing? My phone locks itself because it doesn't want to kill its battery. And like phone, I'm trying to get stuff done here. So 3 are 8s. So the very front are 8s. I paid a lot less attention when I built the first one. I'm trying to pay more attention now, and it's not paying off. Lived there as a kid, then we moved to San Bernardino. Where in San Bernardino? I grew up in San Bernardino, Elm Street, Sterling and Highland Avenue. I grew up with a wood box rotary phone on the wall. I remember rotaries, but the phone that I remember the most, it probably has a specific name. It was the first phone that I remember that had the keypad, with the keypad with the pound and everything, and it was was that shape, and it was beige, and it had the coily cord, and when you lifted the handset, the keypad was right there, and because it was so squared, you couldn't really hold it up against your shoulder right, so you kind of had to hold it with your hand, because before that we had the rotary, the traditional, if they were going to make an emoji of a phone, it would be that phone with the handset and the cord and and they came in first they were all black. Then you could get beige ones and white ones. And then after that, we started to get into, my grandfather worked for General Telephone and Telegraph for 45 years. And he was there for the transition from mechanical switches to electronic switches. So before that, you had switchboard operators. The Westinghouse 124, I will connect you right away. And they moved the plugs, right? So then they went to analog switches. And I remember when I was a kid, he would take me to the Western Electric Slimline. There it is. He took me to what's called a switch house, which you'll just see these buildings. Every once in a while, there's just a very rectangular building with no windows in it and 2 doors. And you go inside that, and that building is a switch house. And all it's full of was switches. And this was at the time when GTE was transitioning from analog switches to digital switches. And when you went into this building, it was a sound never to be replicated by anything else. Imagine a sound like that, but imagine it 100,000 times, all happening at the same time. It was unbelievable because it was mechanical switches. He talked about how back in his time, when he was first a guy doing installs, and how many electrocuted cats he found. And I was like, what? So in the olden times, during the times of analog switching and the phones, a rotary phone was actually sending electrical pulses through the line. So those old phones had way more voltage running through them. So for whatever reason, the cats would chew on the wires, and if a phone call came in, pow! That was they would contact the phone company and be like, our phone has stopped working. And he would come, and somewhere in, on, or under the house, there would be a barbecued cat. And I was like, technology. Technology. Hobby Lobby is a Christian-based organization not open on Sunday. Yeah, I remember. Do y'all remember? When nothing was open on Sunday, everything was closed on Sundays? You don't need to put a reason. There's the sign in the door of the Horby Lorby that says, we are closed on Sundays so that our team members can worship and whatever. Just say you're closed on Sundays. If you want to be open Monday through Saturday, that's fine. You don't have to tell us that it's for worship. I don't care. You just say, we're open 6 days a week. A lot of places are open 6 days a week. When I was trucking, I used to deliver switchgear to phone data centers. Hey. We had a TG&Y, Coronet, Yellow Front, and Sprouse Ritz. We didn't get a lot of those. We never had a Coronet. I grew up in San Bernardino near Colton. Oh, way over there. So if you were over on the Colton side, you didn't have to go to... No, you wouldn't have gone to Purdue, did you? What? Were you a Yellow Jacket? What high school did you have to go to? There was no way you could break a receiver on an old phone. That's true. You could beat a burglar to death with one. The kids would tie themselves up with the cords we used to have. It would go halfway across the house. Yeah, we had a 25-footer. Yeah, 25-footer. I watched a show about how old pinball machines work. Yes. Yes, they are giant Rube Goldberg machines. Fun fact, the Nintendo Switch cartridges taste disgusting. No cats will eat them. I remember playing with the rotary dial center cap while talking on the phone, and eventually it disappeared altogether. Yeah. I shot one of my film school student films on Movieland Frontier Town backlot. Wow. Was off Highland Avenue in Purdue. Good old Highland. Eisenhower and Rialto. I forgot about Ike.
Played water polo there.
The number of schools, I swear the number of schools never clicks in your mind. It never clicked in my mind until I started regularly riding the bike. There are oh my God, the number of schools. There's a section up over here in Redlands where it's up in the section where the houses were built in like the 1920s and 30s. And they're all, $1 million now. That's how that works. Every street has a school on it for this whole section. And then Redlands High is over there in the middle. Yes, this is the right one. School I remember was after we moved to Oceanside. Oh. I went to UC Riverside right out of high school. Down in the hole. Wait, no, that's CC Riverside. UC Riverside is up on the hill. So are you a scientist of some kind? Because that's pretty much what UC Riverside does. This thing keeps closing. I didn't bring a... Oh, do you have your little charger guy?
It's got some juice in it.
I'm probably gonna have to put this thing on the juice. If you're an iPhone guy, what are these? Anchor. Everybody makes them, but this is like the best. It just goes on like that, and now my phone's not gonna die, and it shouldn't shut down as often as I try to read this manual.
Well, you just have to change it to screen always on.
Oh, Mr. Trua grew up in Cyprus down there. Yeah, San Bernardino was another state. We were 714 once, then they took it away from us, and they made us 909. And then everybody made fun of them. They're like, ew, you're from the 909. Ew. I was like, shut up, OC people. I live in Utah. Nothing is open on Sunday. Yeah.
The Mormons don't mess around.
The Mormons do not mess around on Sundays.
That's the day for family.
And that's the thing. You don't have to need a reason. If you don't want to be open on Sundays, just don't be open on Sunday. What servo did the blind guy get? SA75. SA75. Oh, no, I'm sorry. A75 Bum W. Because we're going to set this up 4S. If memory serves.
3 or 4S. Okay.
3S or 4S. Either one. Because that servo makes enough souse on 3S that you could easily get away with it. Not a scientist, but maybe a mad scientist. Left UCR after a year and went to film school. Now I work in television doing graphics. Hey, if you ever want to make some graphics for an idiot in a shed, let me know. Because I don't know how to do it. Every graphic you've ever seen in a video, it was made in Apple Keynote. I make them in Keynote because they export nicely into Final Cut. But I have no idea what I'm doing. And that's not going to change. Man, we're clipping through. It's almost like I've done this before.
Everything's somewhat familiar.
Everything is somewhat familiar because I am clipping along. We're back D already, and it's only been like an hour. Here in the South, even most of the sidewalks are closed on Sunday. I don't have a lot of, people will ask, my wife will say, don't you want to go anywhere? No. My wife went on a family vacation. She's one of 8. I'm one of 1. And as I said in a live stream previously, my mother told me she never wanted to be a mother. Hey! Bonding by traumas. So my wife went with her family and they went to Jamaica. And when she went to Jamaica, our kids were young. Really, I want to say 3 and 5, 4 and 6, something like that. So it would have been mad expensive for both of us to go. So I was like, I will gladly, happily stay home without reservation. You don't even have to ask me. I will just stay home. And she has been saying for all of those intervening years, ooh, oh man, they left the boxes right inside the gate. They just dropped them over the gate. She's like, I really want you to see Jamaica. And I was like, I don't know. I got no Jamaica FOMO. There's not a lot of places where I'm like, man, I really wish I could see that place. I kind of want to go back to the places I've been before. I want to take my kids to Chicago. I need my kids to see Chicago because I went to Chicago for the first time with my grandparents in 1985. And I have nothing but fond memories of my trip to Chicago in 1985. And then I went back with my wife in like 92. So I could definitely stand another trip to Chicago. It's been a minute. But the notion of heading to Jamaica, I'm like, And, oh, I buried the lead. We took a train. We took the Midwest Flyer or whatever it is. We took Amtrak. Did that just jump a bunch? I'm not your age yet, Mr. C, and I'm a hermit already. I hate driving and I hate going anywhere. Yes! Hi, crew. We're building a wizard. My wife went to Jamaica in January and I wasn't interested. Nice. Oh, Mr. Slash Raptor. Here's the thing. Even when, okay, let me put it to you this way. When me and the wife went in 92, Chicago already had a good half and a bad half. And we stayed in a hotel up in the north end. We were right next to Wrigley Field. And it was lovely. Our extent of traveling inside Chicago was from the hotel. We saw a game in Wrigley Field. Sammy Sosa hit a home run. And we went all the other things. We went to the Shedd Aquarium. We went to the Museum of Science and Industry. We did Michigan Avenue. We did all of that stuff. We didn't. That's
Which one weighs more?
Oh, this is a hat.
No, which one weighs more?
This. So here's my box from Amazon. This is a box that gets immediately cut up because it would cost too much to ship it. Amazon can send this to you for free, but if I tried to ship this to somebody, it would cost $80. So I took another risk because my Quicksilver hat is falling apart. I have a second one, which is so big that I have to wear a hat under that hat. This one came with neat hoops. So this is the Amazon way. They will ship you that hat in this box for free. I just hope it fits my big melon. My other hat is coming apart, and I noticed this one's made of bigger straw. So I'm hoping that this will... Ah, yes! Yes! This is a good hat. This is a good hat. I wanted the one that was all black underneath. Black or green would have been nice. I don't know what this is supposed to be, but it's okay. It's okay. And I know I paid I paid the exact sticker price for it. $30 for a straw hat is wild.
Well, you gotta figure fucking flex fit hat's $30.
Yeah. Did Wolverine bust his shock from tumbling on terrible tires? What tire did he test last? Goats? No. Oh, it's tomorrow's video. Yeah. So tomorrow's video, you'll find out what he broke him on. What was I doing? Losing my mind. They won't even open the gate.
Oh, they just dropped them?
They just dropped him over the gate into the yard.
That
They won't.
check them a little
They won't even
bit,
open the
give them some
gate.
distance.
So no, not terrible tires that he broke them on. I don't even remember any large specific tumble that he would have taken himself apart on for 05 by 8. Yes. What did I do with the truss? Am I doing this right? Yes. The one and only time we will see that hat. Yeah. that's the last time you see that hat. Oh my God. San Bernardino is kind of like Chicago. It's got its good side and its bad side, just no big lake.
Yep.
We've got Succumby Lake, and they find a dead body in it every time they drain it.
Probably guns and everything else.
And all the guns that have been disposed of in Succumby Lake over the years. I got a bearing. I put it on a slight angle, and now I got to figure out a way to punch that down onto this because I can't get it off. Is this hole big enough? Is this hole big enough? Oh, we got it. We got this. Brass hammer is coming to the rescue. I need a punch. I've got one. Do-do-do-do. That bearing is crazy tight. Crazy tight.
Rather be tight than falling out.
Exactly. We're right back at the same thing again. I would rather have to tap this bearing on here with a hammer than have the thing just constantly falling apart. I stand by that. Just like that. Just like that. And even put it on the correct direction. Has anyone used TRX4 clipless body brackets on aftermarket bodies? No, but I want to. That hat should have a quick view. Okay. You know what? I'll give you one. So, this is my regular one. This is my Volcom hat that I've been wearing. You've seen it. So you see, okay, you already see the problem. Okay? So here's the problem with the Volcom hat. I know. Also, because it uses that thinner weave, this hat will blow off of your head far easily than any other hat in existence. If I came up behind you and went, it would blow this hat right off your head. So you literally have to you got to go full lifeguard at the beach, and you have to have the little shoestring around your neck or the hat blows off, because the band isn't really a band. It's not, it doesn't hold you. It doesn't hold you. So on the new one, you see how the band has a little bit of, it kind of cups in. So it kind of holds you. This one, once I cut those tags out, oh yeah. And mind you, you need to have apparently a giant melon. I didn't know that I had a giant head until I went to buy things like hats, where most hats, one size fits all, does not. So if you are shopping for a hat and you know that you possess a head that is not one size fits all.
It's about a 7-inch hat. 7 something.
I wear a 7 5/8 hat, and apparently, if you have a hat bigger than 7.5, you're some sort of lumbering freak that the industry does not want to provide hats to. Because ordinarily, me ordering a hat off the internet is an absolute crapshoot. Jimbo, who is here in the chat, sent me a hat. I've got another hat. It is enormous. And it is useful, or will be useful, would have been useful if we'd had winter. because I can put a beanie on and then put that hat on over the beanie. Which, you know, in my life has been a problem. I would get the extremely cold hands when riding the bike, and people would be like, oh, well, you just need to layer. You get an inner, like a liner, and then you wear a glove over that. And I'm like, guy, I can't find a glove to fit this. Do you think I'm going to find a glove and then a glove to fit over that glove? It's not going to happen. My wife says any hat makes me look like a train conductor. I can't wear hats like this. Definitely not trucker hats. But any baseball style hat, especially if the brim, well, even if the brim has a bunch of curve in it, if we go full Cletus and we get the real curve in that, if I put that on, I might be middle sliders, but if I put this on, instant hillbilly. I look like I'm going to steal your trailer. But near. Yeah. I can't wear baseball caps.
You wear yourself some flat brim cap, bro.
I know. I don't know what I would look like. I'd probably look like a British hillbilly. I don't know what those are called.
A Hill William.
A Hill William. I would look like a proper Hill William if I put a flat cap on. Does the voodoo kit come with a hammer? No, it should. It should. All of a sudden, I've ordered an Anchor phone charger and a stupid Quicksilver hat from Amazon. I hope you used affiliate links. I'm glad that I'm contributing to your delinquency. Number 7 is tens. I don't know how I feel about the Delrin chassis spacer. I might replace mine with something else. They bow a little. I feel your pain on most hats. Most manufacturers don't support circumference of a watermelon. I'm a cowboy hat kind of guy most of the time. You can't really get away with a cowboy hat in Southern California. People will assume that you have some kind of agenda.
Unless you're from Corona or Norco.
Unless you're from Corona or Norco. And the SoCal people will know Corona and Norco. Yes, you can get away with it if you're from Norco. If you're from, because there's actually cows there. But if you go into an establishment out here where I live and you got a cowboy hat on, you will get looks. People will be like, who's this guy? Who's that Cowboy Bill over here?
On a steel horse I ride.
On a steel horse he does indeed ride. Lower. Two upper link mounting hole choices implies to me that someone made a decision during tuning and setup and they were like, you don't need all those holes.
Maybe one for portal and one for straight.
That's a good call. That's probably true. The blind man said maybe one is for portal and one is for straight, and he could definitely be onto something. I have the opposite problem. One size fits all is too big for my Kiwi. Whiskers, you're my father-in-law. He has what I call a bird head. Look at a bird. Look at any bird. Look at the size of the body relative to the head. That dude has the head like this is where I have to be to fit this on my bucket. This is where that guy would have this hat. I kid you not. His hat sits on top of my head like putting a teacup on a basketball. And he's got a bunch of those flat hats because he's an Irishman. Oh, I got to put the front thing together now. Look at that. I love this. I should only build things on stream that I've built before. It goes so much more smoothly. I've only attached one part incorrectly. Everything else has been going absolutely swimmingly. And I could go lazy. Because I have a whole... I want to build this one to see if the run out is the same between the two. Dude gonna walk in with a Doug Dimmadome 500-gallon cowboy hat. I'm Doug Dimmadome. I got some sort of an achievement. I earned a 25-day move award. Woo! Meaningless. Meaningless.
Moved for 25 full days?
I've closed my move ring 25 consecutive days. I'm over it. Over it! I went through that phase. I'm done. So you're telling me you didn't wear one of those silly bike hats? No. No. I was a helmet guy. I crashed too much. No, not if you're over 18. If you don't want to wear a helmet, that's fine. You don't have to. I have a head. I have these heads that used to be for like barber school. Like they have to buy these little heads that look like humans. And I have like 5 of them, and they're what we keep our helmets on. I have a $300 Cask helmet over there, a Cask Proton, because I've bounced my head off the road a couple of times to what I would regard as no ill effect. You might have a differing opinion. But I can talk pretty fast and at length, and I have this feeling that on a couple of them, on those moments where I hit the ground with such velocity on one particular occasion, where a gentleman on a minivan opted to make a left turn directly in front of me while I was coming downhill at about 45 miles an hour. And if I hadn't, so I'm here and right behind me was a Mazda Miata. And if the Mazda Miata hadn't seen me do the cut, that Mazda Miata would have speared right into the side of that minivan. So instead, I went into a tree, and the tree kind of decelerated me, and then I had built up a little bit of kinetic energy into the branches, so it kind of hucked me to the side like that. And I was still gripping. Get in the drops. That will keep you on the bike. So I went down straight on my side, and the side of my helmet hit the ground, and I shattered the earbud that was in my left ear. Like it just, like pieces just cascaded out of my ear. So I hit the ground pretty good, and the location of that incident was about 2 miles from my local bike shop, my bike shop that I've been going to 20 plus years, and I rode down there, and I bought the Cask Proton that's right over there. I was wearing a Smith helmet, and it was one of my favorite helmets ever, because it had what's called choroid mesh in it. It was impossible to get bees in the helmet because it had mesh, so the bees would bounce off. I got stung on the head by so many bees. That's where I learned about 12 miles an hour. That's a callback to the Wheelin' Wednesday. If you're going, and for those who don't Wheelin' Wednesday, if you're going under 12 miles an hour, you can just maneuver right through the bees. They don't want to land on you. They don't want to sting you. They don't want to be involved with you at all. But if you're going above 12 miles an hour, they can't see you, and they will crash into you. And when they crash into you, they go, "What is happening? I don't like what's going on." And then they will sting you, and then they die. Bees don't want to sting you because then they die. And we're all just trying to get along, you know? My friend won't wear a helmet because it says it makes him ride too fast. I just like to go too fast, so I wear a helmet. Those Smith Choroid ones are good. I love that helmet. 12 miles an hour is the magical speed. You don't hit bees. I did average 17 miles an hour. That's true. I was, as a lifelong baseball fan, I was a tracker of statistics, great and small. And in the 57,000 and change miles I logged on a bicycle, I had a global average of 17 miles an hour. Now, that doesn't seem like a lot to a non-cyclist. But if you do happen to be a cyclist, I think you'll respect it at least a little bit, because there's a lot of times on a bike where you're doing 4. Because the hill is that steep. And averaging 17 means that a lot of times you're doing 25. I got a bee under the helmet strap one day and almost crashed. I had a bee. Let me see. Let me see if I can find the accoutrement to explain this. First, I gotta find my Smith, my use the wife's. I could use the wife's Giro. No, but I get my Proton. I'll get my Proton out. And it's got some safety glasses. Okay, so non-cyclists, again, you would say, why would you wear a $300 helmet? So here's my Casque Proton. This is the same helmet guys would wear in like Tour de France. The reason you wear this helmet weighs about 6 ounces. So you don't get any fatigue after riding it all day. It's fantastic. It's full of dust right now. So I wear sunglasses when riding the bike all the time, prescription sunglasses. These are not prescription sunglasses. These are tinted safety glasses that one of the mannequin heads was wearing. And when you have this on your head, you have a gap about that big between there and there. You see that little gap right there? I had a bee get between the glass and the thing and sting me right through the eyebrow. And I was like, really? But that wasn't the best one. The best one ever, a bee stung me right on the front of my thigh, hit me right in the front of the thigh while I was pedaling. And the stinger promptly broke off in my leg and was in my leg, and I had an itchy spot on the front of my thigh for about 6 months. Until finally it went, I guess my body absorbed it. I don't know what the body does. It broke it down and turned it into fat, like everything else. Am I doing this right? Am I doing this right? I feel like I'm not doing this right. Am I doing this right? We will know when I'm done. Oh, no, I'm not doing this right. Number 4 is 8s. Okay. See, that's why I need the instructions. Otherwise, I'm going to lose it. That's why when I'm on a bike nowadays, I grab a handful of throttle and get after it. I had a bug hit my eyeglasses so hard it scratched them. Yes. I used to ride my bike to work in Seattle, all hills. Getting to work was all uphill. Heading home was suicidal. That's the way to do it.
That is the best way to do it.
I hit a pheasant while doing over 70 on a motorcycle. Somehow didn't crash, but ribs were well bruised. You Fabio'd it. There's a reference. There's an 80s reference. Fabio on the roller coaster. Got hit in the face with a goose. Was all bloodied. My mate got stung on his old boy. That's the biggest old boy I've ever seen. Good grief. Unfortunately for my psyche, I can decipher that. I know what he means. I'm picking up that lingo.
That'd be the southern region.
That would be the southern region. He got stung by a bee on the southern region.
On his Florida state.
On his Florida state, indeed. So many little screws. I've been killing bugs for a living for the past 6 years. Bee stings aren't too bad. Yellow jackets suck and scorpions suck. Yeah, when I did termite control and remediation, I got bit by spiders so many times, I don't think I could even accurately track it. So many spiders. Did that come with the extra shims? I didn't see them, no. Because this would have been a very early release one as well, just like mine. But I have the whole bag from mine, so it's going to get the shims on the T-case like it's supposed to. I had misread it initially and hadn't noticed that it said shims on the T-case. I thought it was shims on the top shaft, but it's shims on the T-case. Mine wasn't a bee, but a red hornet decided to hitch a ride on my collarbone with its stinger when I was riding my uncle's 700-pound old-ass motorcycle, about dumped it into a ditch at 40. Yeah, yellow jackets just have a bad attitude. That's true. They're very territorial, and they'll just come after you. Or as we call them, meat bees. Good old meat bees. Everybody loves meat bees, right? I got what size? 4. 3x8. Good. Good. Wasps are the worst. I put hornets worse than wasps.
The ones that live in the ground.
The ones that live in the ground, meat bees. Regular good old-fashioned hornets. Because they will just go full territorial and just, they will chase you.
And sting you numerous times.
And we called them meat bees because they would get them real bad up at Cal State, the ground hornets. And the maintenance guys would get basically like a glass, like a big glass bowl, and they would put it over the hole where they were coming out of the ground, and then they would put a piece of meat under the glass bowl. And the hornets would come out to eat the meat, and then they'd just get greenhouse effect, and they'd get barbecued. Because inside that glass bowl, it would be like 150 degrees, and it would just cook them. So that's where we got meat bees. Good old meat bees. They love meat. Wasps turn me into a screaming girl. I don't have a problem with paper wasps. Paper wasps aren't too bad. There's all different kind of wasps, but hornets are just mean. Just so mean. We get mud wasps and paper wasps. Yeah, that's running pretty true. Yeah, this one looks a little truer than mine did. But on mine, it was the spur gear. That wasn't true. My buddy threw a rock at a dead raccoon, and it was full of meat bees. That was the last time he did that. Having a hard time deciding on an HH revolver, 1400, 1800, or 2200. What axles and gearbox are you using? You're going to go by final drive ratio. Are you going to run 3S or 4S? I'm addressing maximum RC here. If your final drive ratio is like, say, 40 to 60, I would say you're going to want the 1400. That would be 3S. Actually, say 40 to 50 to 1 final. You'd probably want the 1400. If you're in the like 50 to 65 to 1 or so final, 1800. And anything above that, 2200. And then you can tune accordingly. Like 4S, you can get away with the 4S unless you have an absolute mountain of gear reduction. 4S and 2200 is not something that's going to happen a whole lot unless it's like Stealth X and TRX4 axles. Like then you're looking at like 100 to 1 gear reduction, and you can absolutely 4S 2200. Capra axles. Okay, so Capra axles are going to be like in that 8 to 1 range. So what kind of gearbox? I got stung in the eye by a yellow jacket. Okay, Mr. Hurley should hate yellow jackets forever.
Winner.
That's the winner. If we were going for winners, that is the winner. 8 and 8.1. M305 by 06 for the 2 panels. Square one on one side. Watch out on the other. I need more juice. I keep cleaning this dispenser out, and it won't, like, why won't you drip? Why won't you drip? It's got a little mechanism that I think is supposed to keep the stuff from drying out, and I'm thinking about just cutting the tip off of this thing. Because when I clean it, oh, okay. I think I just worked through whatever the problem was. Because we got a big splurt of purple. I've used a badminton racket, but upgraded to an electric bug zapper. Luckily, we don't get big bugs. We don't get big bugs. And once they tore down the chicken farm, we got rid of most of the flies. We get those imported mosquitoes, those Asian mosquitoes, ankle biters. We get those now. And there's apparently nothing you can do to stop them. Like, you make sure there's no standing water, all that stuff. They're just there. I had a wasp crawl into my beer, then I drank and spit it out. Didn't sting me. He was a good wasp. I was back in the days when I could still drink soda. We were outside at some sort of an event, and I had my Dr. Pepper can sitting on the table. And a bee flew in, landed on the rim of the can, climbed in to the can, and then climbed back out and flew away. And then I took the can and I picked it up and I took a drink out of it. And somebody on the other side of the table was all, ew, that had a bug in it. And I was all, that didn't have a bug in it. That had a bee in it. Like, it's a bee. I would let a bee eat off my plate. Like, it's not like it was a bunch of roaches. It was a bee.
Fly that lands on poop all day.
Yeah, flies land on poop all day. Do you know what bees do all day? They land in flowers and they make honey. A bee can climb into my can whenever it wants. Hey, me on a commuter home from work. Work is the worst. Try to avoid it whenever possible. I say that because I gaslight myself every day. It's the same way I got myself to ride a bike almost every day for 7 years. I convinced myself that it wasn't exercise. And if you lie to yourself, it works. You will convince yourself that you're not exercising. It's very effective. What size are those? Oh, same size. Eights. Old eights. Yes, this is Mr. Blind Guy's Wizard, yes. In the Pacific Northwest, we've been getting murder hornets. Murder hornets obviously win because when you see the science show, I remember the first time I was watching something and they were showing the murder hornet, and I was like, what's all the hullabaloo? And then you get to see one for scale, and you were like, good God! No, they're like 3 inches long. That's not okay.
So a Hot Wheels car flying around.
Yeah, a Hot Wheels car flying around stinging people. And they're just mean. They're like really, really mean. So, like, you are literally minding your own business, and they're like, I'm going to get you.
Yeah,
I'm going to get you.
Hornets. My legs swelled up so bad when I got stung by a hornet.
Anyone remember the bongo bat? Huge yellow cone thing with a handle. They make a funny sound when you hit Yellow Jackets with one. I thought can meant something different in the U.S. No, soda comes in cans. We do have a lot of, like, different euphemisms for can. We will call the bathroom the can. It has been recorded in the past that gentlemen of a certain era would call a lady's hindquarters their can. We'll call a lot of things a can. I don't know.
Or gas in a can.
Well, that's actually a gas can. That's a proper use of the word can. Well, they used to be can. I have a gas can. Don't tell me I don't have a can. It's metal. It's round. Also, a jerry can.
Not true.
Yeah, all right. I got him. I won that. Is that a 12th scale wizard or is that hat huge? Oh, it's a big hat. It's a big hat.
It's a big hat for a big head.
It's a big hat for a big head. Yeah, for sure. Okay.
I like that comment.
Oh, let's put in the juice. Wait. No. Do you remember the Corona commercial about getting it in the can? Wow. I was just thinking about actually, it might have come up in a short. I love when the youths, that being like people under 40, when people under 40 discover things like the old Kmart had that ad campaign that now seems like it couldn't have been real about, can I ship my pants? I'm going to ship my pants right now. And when they discover this, people are like, that's not real. Oh, no, it was real.
Back in the days when you can say what you wanted and it wasn't taken out of context.
And it wasn't taken out of context. You could ship your pants if you wanted. They knew what they were doing.
You make it memorable.
Yeah. Like, totally, for sure, dude. It's soda, people. Soda.
Pop!
This ain't the South. We didn't call it pop. Nobody calls it. I've never heard anybody say, can I get a pop? We use the catch-all term of Coke.
Yeah.
You want a Coke? Any brown caramel-colored soda is a Coke. Really does go together remarkably well. I feel like I've gotten a treat that we've gotten to build. Are you sure you want to ship your pants? I just shipped my pants. I'm shipping my pants right now. I feel like I'm privileged in that I've gotten to build 2 of these because they go together so good. It's
You don't have to fabricate stuff to make it work.
yeah. I don't have to fabricate a single part to finish this. Can I have a Coke? Sure. What kind? Yeah. Jeez, I don't know if I've ever heard someone unironically refer to it as cola. Can I have a cola? Except for in the movie Super Troopers. Can I get a liter cola? I don't think we have that here. I want a liter cola.
Well, it all depends on your brand of preference.
Still getting used to my first reading glasses. At first I thought the hat said something offensive about Canada. What? What did you think it said? It's a Wiener Schnitzel hat. I don't know. I'm really curious. Coke is not brown lemonade in Ireland. They do have red lemonade. What is happening? Do we have liter cola? I don't think we have that. My favorite thing is that here in America, we have a thing called lemonade. And lemonade is lemons, sugar, and water. It's made out of lemons. It's called lemonade. And from my understanding, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, to the almost the entirety of the rest of the world, lemonade is just Sprite and or any other lemon lime flavored soda. If there's anyone from Australia, please tell me, what is lemonade in Australia? I'm going to a swap meet tomorrow where there's a bunch of old Axial parts. I'm going to make so many bad decisions. What do you think of Axial AR60 axles? I've never used an AR60 because they were basically already extinct before I started doing this. I just realized that I put this in backwards. I went through all the trouble to install this. Did I? Did I? No. No, it's right. Oh, thank God. I didn't know.
On the bench might help you.
We're the same with alcohol. It's limoncello. Okay. Lemonade is fizzy pop. Okay.
Fizzy pop.
Yeah. Tony Gregg's got it.
It's not fizzy.
No, but everywhere else in the world, lemonade is not its own distinct beverage. Why do I have? This is my. What did I forget to put in? Why do I have a screw? I feel like I got. Oh, I see it. Son of a glurp. Okay, so it's this one, right up in there. Do we think ball end driver? Is anybody else thinking ball end driver? Because that's what I'm thinking. I don't want to take that apart. I'm a secret lemonade drinker. Like real lemonade?
Hard lemonade.
Or what the rest of the world calls lemonade, and it isn't. I understand the differences that we find between us and the British, because y'all call cookies biscuits. And over here, biscuits are, biscuits. I really did myself. Okay. Oh, I've got all the screws in the motor mount already. Oh my God. Always remember, ask for apple juice, not cider. Yes. What are some of your favorite axles? My current favorite axle, if price is not a consideration, up until about a week ago, were 10 Pro Portals. 10 Pro Portals have slipped down the thing a little bit because they have recently gotten tariffed, and a set of 10 Pro Portals is $192. That's not happening. Mias nylons are definitely up at the top because in terms of value, in terms of economy, I don't know if you can beat Mias nylons. TRX4s are great as long as you embrace their limitations. That being, they were never, ever, ever intended to be run with the servo on the axle. They were intended for a 3-link setup. They always were and always will be. It's how they work the best. They have the most gear reduction of any portal axle. They're built like absolute tanks. They have their limitations and they have their strengths. My favorite axle overall is the SSD Diamond Pro straight axle because they're just bulletproof and they slide and they glide and they're just perfect. And there's something sort of counterintuitively elegant about the fact that you can't buy an SSD Diamond Pro axle. You have to buy the housing, and then you got to buy the ring and pinion. And you got to buy. So basically, you're building an axle, and when you're done, there's no leftover parts because you put the C-hubs you want on them, and you put the knuckles that you want on them, and you don't end up filling your parts bin. And they are a la carte. You got to put them together. And for whatever reason, as far as straight axles go, I've not experienced a similar level of success with any other straight axle. I like an easier answer to that question would be like, what are the axles I don't like? And it's a fairly short list. Red Cat Gen 7, Gen 8, Gen 9, you know, the usual. So which holes are that through? What are we doing? Okay. I'm getting it. F-bag slowed me down for a second. Rebuilding a set of those right now for my Leafer TF2 bulletproof axles for real. I dip toast in tea. Wild.
You get crumbs in your tea.
I abuse this thing and they hold up tremendously well. How did those HD44 Mias axles set up? Mine are great. Because the ones that Mias was selling are not the clones of the Vanquish axles. And on those, apparently, and this is all hearsay, this is just what I've heard from other people, it's really difficult to find aftermarket knuckles that fit them. Whereas the other one, I'm just running AR44. They're true HD44, so they just use AR44 parts. So I haven't had any problems at all. But like I try to tell people in the comments section every day, just because you've had success doesn't mean that someone else isn't going to have a failure. And just because I've had a success or a failure doesn't mean that someone else isn't going to have the opposite experience. Quality control plays a part. The environment you're in plays a part. Everything plays a part. I'm just trying to establish a baseline, and the thing that grinds my gears is when people in the comments are like, I'm like, well, I have a couple Furatech Python X in the drawer that aren't in use because they both act a fool. One has a non-functional LVC. The other one gets to the heat of a really fiery wok anytime you attach 4S to it. And people are like, well, I've never had a problem with... Okay, what I have happening is happening. You do see it happening. And then you're going to say, well, because my experience doesn't match yours, your experience is invalidated. And that's not... Comment section, that is not how it works. That's not how it works at all. I had a guy tell me that everybody he knows on the local comp scene, they only run Python X. And I'm like, okay, mine don't work. Does that not concern you more? If they're all garbage, that's one thing. If they're effectively flawless, like when is the last time you had someone tell you that their Hobbywing 1080 doesn't work right? Right? And they're, in terms of brushed ESCs that you pay money for, the 1080 has got to be like up off the graph, right? It's just 1080s, right? It's the standard to which everything else is compared. And you might hear one guy, he's like, yeah, I had one just bonk. Well, yeah, they can't. Nothing is going to be 100%. You're not going to get 100% accuracy. But I have multiple times experienced failures with ISDT ESC 70s, with you name it. And people will still, to this day, well, this is what I had. Well, okay, that's fine. I'm not saying that you didn't have success. I'm saying that I had failure, and that should concern everyone. I bought the Hobbywing LCD program box, and it's awesome. Bluetooth, and it works with all Hobbywing cool settings at 1080 on your phone. Oh. What experience do you have with Cross RC? I'm not sure these days how you can obtain one, but I like to see you do your thing with the Demon. They are always either too expensive, not available. There's just any number that they're not available from a lot of sellers. There's not a lot of places that you can get Cross from. It's just been, I mean, I've looked at the Demon. I've looked at the, what is it, the AT4, JT4. I've looked at a bunch of them, and I've heard enough combinations of cautionary tales where people are like, I wouldn't if I were you. And then tales of how the customer service support via Cross is basically non-existent. So if you get your kit and it's missing some parts, you're kind of on your own. And I'm like, eh. And I take that with all of the necessary grains of salt, because I'm not a person that really generally contacts support for any reason. So that doesn't impact me directly, but as has been pointed out to me by more than one person, I have somewhat of a depth of parts bins, and the depth of my parts bins I do not believe is representative of the average person. So I have to take that into consideration when I'm recommending that people buy things. If something needs extensive modification right out of the box, that's sort of borderline deal breaker status. What hole does this go to? That is too much. Odd 6, I like a lot of what's going on, but this is too many. So the 18 is through that top hole center. This is too many. I'm officially calling this too many steps in one picture. I'm really having to analyze this. Yeah, when your kit is missing a part, like I had seen guys on. When I'd seen guys on, I think it was on Facebook, like in a Facebook group, and they were talking about how one guy said that he just bought, like, let's say it was like a Phoenix. And when he was building the Phoenix, actually, I'm remembering. It's all coming back to me. It was a 10 Pro. He had gotten a 10 Pro kit, and he was building the 10 Pro kit, and it was missing a bearing. It was short one bearing for something, right? And he was super bummed because he was hoping to be able to drive that day and this and that. And my first instinct, because I'm not a caring individual, I guess, my first inclination was to go, who doesn't have a bearing? And then I was like, hey, dickhead, maybe that's his first RC car. Maybe he's just getting into the hobby. And what happened to him his very first time out? He bought something and it was incomplete. So he's already got this little bit of a sour feeling. And then, places like Horizon aren't going to be super duper helpful for him. So that's going to sour on it even more. I wish that everybody's first experience building a kit could be this thing. Because this is how it used to be. This is how it was. All the parts fit amazingly, and it's an absolute pleasure to work on. And the biggest gripe I have about the Wizard kit is that the manual is a single PDF per page, which is nonsense. And I think the whole manual, like I'm on page 14. Like, it's not even eligible for download. Are you going to download 44 PDFs and then put them in order? Like, seriously, why is that not just one PDF? So I have to remember, everybody starts somewhere. I was just like that other guy, sour. Yeah. I mean, I get it. I'd be sour too. And I have to change my mindset a little. Because my initial mindset is like, if I come across something, if I'm building something and it's missing a part, there's a 99.9% chance I have that part. And I can just fix it on the fly. If I snap a rod end, I have drawers and drawers and drawers of rod ends and hollow balls and everything else. And the crazy part about that is I can't blame this YouTube channel for any of that because I've always been like this. I had to print out like 25 pages. Yeah, I'm just doing it off my phone because I'm almost to the point where I don't need to look at the order of operations anymore. Almost. It's just a very leisurely thing. It has had the precise number of everything needed. And we're attaching the shocks on page 15. And now I'm 100% sure, after doing a whole build series, that they don't have oil in them. They just fit together really, really tight.
After having two?
Yeah, after doing it for the second time. These feel better than mine. Yeah, these feel better than mine. I still think they're too short for the Wizard. But that's my thing. Like, there's no such thing as the perfect setup. Good morning, man of New Zealand, land of dragon eggs and LC80s. Greetings from the mid-afternoon of Southern California. I had my manual in hand when building up a TRX4 chassis for my Defender body. I remember when I needed them. And I'm not flexing. I'm not being an a-hole. But I remember when I had to get a manual out to build a TRX4. But I've built so many of them now. I could go into the bins, and if I have all of the parts, I could build a TRX4 from scratch and never crack a manual open. Including building the gearbox, everything. It's the Groundhog Day effect is what it is. I don't know more. I've just done it a lot. A lot. More than many. Hey, Chuck with one. I know I missed like 10. I think Miata Commuter sent 10. Was it Driver 8 that sent 5? And Miata Commuter and Driver 8 sent the other 5? You guys are keeping the Sawtooth alive. Keeping it alive. There was a substantial drop in memberships over the past 14 days or so. Like, to the tune of around 100. I know, it's seasonal. I get it. Prior to starting a YouTube channel and doing all of this nonsense that I do, the notion of giving money to a stranger on the internet would have seen, honestly. I need to reach over camera, so we'll go to 3. You can, oh, look at that. You can get big Rialf there. I need the 27.5 weight. So pardon my reach. And then see, look, now I have it. And you can tell where it was. I feel like I've missed so many lives. I feel like we haven't seen you in a minute. It's been a hot minute. So the question of which is better, gifting memberships or gifting straight cash, well, it depends on how you look at it. I consider gifted memberships more of an investment. I get less money in the end. I get less physical cash, but anything to help drive that algorithm to maybe let YouTube show me to more people because it had waned for a while. It is you want to know how you filled it to the Miggity Max? Like that. Okay, so we've got the ebb and flow of impressions. How many people get to see the channel? Like, the reason that you don't find channels, and the reason that I don't find channels, is because YouTube's not letting us know about them. So unless somebody tells me, oh, hey, you got to check out this channel, how would you know that it exists? I know I've mentioned before there's a channel called Sunny V2 where he talks about like the downfall of YouTubers and YouTubers that have gone to prison and stuff like this. And he was talking about a channel where this guy, Fafo, and went to prison for like 25 years. And he's talking about this guy, and the guy had 10 million subscribers on his YouTube channel before he started to act a fool and before he destroyed his whole life. And I'm like, I have never heard of this guy. Never. And this guy had 10 million. So me with 10,000, I have to figure that there's about 10,000 times as many people that have never heard of me as have never heard of that guy. Rick Beato, the music guy, was talking about how he was talking about some channel. He was talking about Mr. Beast. And people in his chat were like, I don't know who that is. Mr. Beast is the most subscribed human being on earth of all platforms. And there are still people that are like, never heard of him. So, me, on the brink of 11,000, I never thought I'd see 5,000. So, to quote Sugi from one of my favorites, if you've never discovered it on YouTube or Instagram or anywhere else, Real Japan. Oh my goodness. Cameron and Sugi. I love it so much. I'm accidentally learning a tiny little bit of Japanese. But as Sugi famously said, tomorrow is a mystery and today is a gift. So you just take any membership I get, any sub as I get, it's all a gift. Because I remember when I decided that I was going to try to, and when I decided, I mean when the wife sat me down and said, I've seen this pattern before, and you need this hobby to pay for itself. My first thought was, let's YouTube it. I was going to YouTube it. So that's how I ended up here now. And that is what the hobby is doing. It's paying for itself. And a big part of it for me is, I don't want to say giving back. I just want to give back, man. I just want to help the peoples. No, it does. It feels good. It feels good to give knowledge, to give rigs, to give whatever, to do this, to do the whole thing. It's a good time. And I will say, it has been stated in the past, and it is true. Making friends after 40 is tough. And then I said, but it really isn't. What you have to do is spend 30 to 50 hours a week developing a YouTube channel, get a following. You'll find like-minded people. I know I mentioned this reference before, that when my son finished high school, his friend group basically just disappeared, right? Like it disbanded. And he got kind of down in the dumps. And he was like, I don't have anybody to talk to. I don't have anybody to hang out with. And he was doing a very prototypically male thing, which is, I'm going to do nothing, and I am going to expect things to change, which is a very male way of approaching things. And I said, there's a reason that your friend group dissolved. And it was because your friend group was composed of people who are in a place for a singular reason. You all live in enough geographic proximity that you are sent to the same high school. If you share something else in common, you might take that with you, but there's every chance in the world that you will share nothing more in common with those people other than geographic proximity. That is not the basis upon which friendships are made, not lifelong friendships. I said, if you want a lifelong friendship that comes out of high school, I know this is dark humor, but I traffic in the dark humor, and that would be all you need is one good school shooting. You'll have all the trauma bonding you'll need, and then you two will be lifelong friends. Ask Mr. Hurley, ask any of the guys that were in the military. Trauma bonding is very effective because now you two share something that other people don't specifically understand. And I would say that while this is also in bad taste, I would say that while this isn't trauma bonding, we all have shared youthful traumas, and we can share those together, and that kind of like drives us together. And we have our toy cars. We have a common ground. We have a pursuit that we all share. And in high school, in general, the only pursuit that you share is get out of high school. Now, if you played the sports ball in high school, there's every chance that you are still in contact in one way or another with someone else that you played sports ball with. Why? Because the sports ball is not mandatory. You guys wanted to play the sports ball, so you played it together. So you had a bond outside. I went through this whole conversation with my son, trying to tell him that, like, you're not being weird. You're not abnormal. It's not because people hate you. I told him I went to a small high school. Our graduating class was 99 people. And the only person that I still associate with from that graduation class is right over there. It's my wife. That's the only one. All of the people, and there were people that I went to school with from the 5th grade on. And after we graduated and we threw our hats in the air, I never saw them again, ever. Because the only thing we shared in common was geographic proximity. And that's generally and often, it's not enough. It's not enough to do it. So the guy over here, the blind guy, is one of my longest term friends in my life. Robert is the longest. My buddy Robert, the one that I built the blindingly yellow rig for, we have known each other for, oh God, it has to be coming up on 40 years. It's closing in on 40 years that we've known each other. And he lives in Orange County now, a stone's throw away from Disneyland, and we might see each other 4 or 5 times a year is what we see each other now. And that's okay, because our relationship is not one of proximity, is not one of convenience. It's that we gravitated together as people of similar interests, and it never wore off. So those are the ones that come along, That's what I tried to tell my son as well. In your life, you will probably have 5 friends like that, friends of that level. I have a friend, his name is Sal. Sal lives in Schuylkill. He lives over there in Miata commuter country. We have never met. We have been playing video games with each other and talking on Signal and hanging out together, Borderlands and whatever, since 2010? Like 15 years? We've been talking all and we've never met, and we probably never will. He rides dirt bikes around the old coal mines and stuff. I play with toy cars on the internet. We have overlapping interests. Me and him, we will fall back in together We will be thick as thieves again come September 22nd, 2025, when Borderlands 4 releases. And we will go full ham. You will see me on the Discord a whole lot less come end of September of this year because, baby, it's Borderlands. And hopefully, unless they GTA 6 me, I'll be on Borderlands a lot. I'm hoping that the quality of the content doesn't suffer, because the entirety of the toy car phenomenon has occurred in between Borderlands releases. So it's my favorite game series of all time, followed closely by that one. I remembered I meant to address that somebody asked above if they were multiplying. No, one of them used to be right here. One was right here, and one was right back behind there, but I moved them out so they could be together. They were all from buying the big packages of the video games. Fallout 3, Fallout 4, and Fallout 76. That's what all three of them are from. I think this guy is... See, he's Vault 111, he's Vault 101, and I knocked him over. See, pardon my reach. Sputtercrawler with 5, and Chuck with another one. Took Craig. Your boy Blue. I know that one. He's in Utah. See, this is how I know there's been a lot of roll-offs, because the gifteds are hitting the names that I recognize. We know we're not up near capacity where I can never remember the name. It's like RG dash something. When he dropped that 50, the system got real confused, and it was throwing memberships to whoever it thought was nearby. So yeah, Fallout would be my second favorite series of all time. And I got into 76 a little bit, and it was still kind of, I wouldn't say it was an alpha when they released it, but it was in the like beta stages. It wasn't quite ready for prime time. And by the time they had updated it and gotten everything ready, I had already moved on. I tried playing some not Baldur's Gate, not Elden Ring. God, what is it? Is it Baldur's Gate? One of those dungeon crawlers. I was playing that. My son was playing it. I was like, that looks like fun. Hey, on Assumption with 5. But why have I not seen Hugo in like an hour? Oh, I should be able. Can I see what the totals are? Can I see the stuff now? Anna Assumption said 5. Sputtercrawler said 5. Sputtercrawler said $10. Sputtercrawler's just throwing it down. Did somebody get their tax return? Because we had to pay $3,000. True, I did not see any of my old friends from school, but friends with people from school that I did not know even went to the same school at the same time because RC. Yeah. Because you guys share something. Yeah. WTG is way to go. I just started playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla. It seems pretty decent. I haven't played an Assassin's Creed since the first one. Since Assassin's Creed. No, like, thing after it. I don't know. It was that, to me, Assassin's Creed, and everybody's different, Assassin's Creed has a little bit of the Call of Duty feel to me in that we're just doing it again. We're just doing it again. It's Assassin's Creed again. Hey, CK Graphics with 5! And still, Ed Scrivener, I don't know what he does. But him and David Hiscock are just straight up dodging. So we will assume that more members, percentage of subscribers are best for channel visibility. Yes, they are. Just like when we did the Spiffing Brit test of putting unboxing in the comments, it works. It totally works. What I need to post it on the Discord, but I'll forget before we even leave here. He had a whole list of the SEO driver words, that any of those words that you put in the comments drives YouTube engagement. Because I can watch it more over time, but I can watch it over time as what YouTube calls trends, the levels of engagement based on what YouTube calls impressions, which is how many times they show your video to make it seen like on feeds. And you would think 1.5 million, which is about what I'm averaging in a month, you would think 1.5 million impressions. That sounds like a lot right? Until you take into consideration, get your calculator out, and let's say we're operating on a 28-day rotating window. 28 days, 24 hours a day, 60 minutes in each hour, 60 seconds in each minute. Like, you at 1.5 million, you're at what? Like 2 or 3, you might be a couple impressions a second for the whole month. That's not a lot. That's not a lot in the grand scheme of when we're talking. I'm getting 1.5 million impressions handed out in a month. And there are other channels that are getting 10 million channel views in a day. So what do their impressions look like? They have to have millions upon millions upon millions. I was looking for the screws again, and they're right here. I think I did that last time. Friends and myself used to Black Ops 2 so hard we got Rainbow Six Siege a year before release for testing. Wow. Wow. I'm not a huge gamer guy, so really the only game series I follow is the Sienna series. So I watch a channel called Moxie, M-O-X-S-Y, and Moxie is my favorite Borderlands guy. Yo, guys, what is up? All your Borderlands content. Now, there hasn't been a Borderlands game. He did Wonderlands, which was an ancillary Borderlands game. He did some Wonderlands content. I don't even know what game he's doing right now, because I'll freely admit I'm a terrible subscriber. I haven't watched a video on that guy's channel in probably 3 years. But I guarantee you, when Borderlands 4 comes out, I'm going to be watching Moxie videos every day, because he's your go-to guy. Yo, guys, what is up? I'm just making sure I'm not doing anything out of order here. Nope. It looks in order to me. Rear axle and then front axle. Got it. We're doing it. We're doing it. Are we doing it? I feel like we're doing it. Oh, no, upper link first. That way you can get to the screws. Upper link first always. The only game I've ever finished is Hellblade Sienna 6. One game. That is wild. Remember who said AliExpress prices went up? Was not kidding. I don't. Somebody else might have said it, but I definitely said it because I was perusing. I will only order from AliExpress if it is the only option. Like, you can't get it from anywhere else. Then GRC G2 Knuckles and stuff. It's the only way to get them. So, but I went to look up radio links because I needed to order another radio link. It's like $6 cheaper to get one off of AliExpress versus just ordering it off of Amazon. It's going to have to be 30% cheaper for me to buy it off of AliExpress and not off of Amazon, and that's not happening.
Well, again, AliExpress takes about a week.
2 weeks.
The next day.
I bought a replacement RC4 and had it in less than 24 hours. My impressions is 86,000 a month. Yeah. And the thing is, Mr. RC Family, there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do. I started my channel based off of, I watched a podcast where they're talking to Casey Neistat. Casey Neistat being that like YouTube OG. And he was talking about how when he started, it was just flood it. So that was when he started doing the daily vlogs, because he was like, I'm going to try to game it. And I'm just going to keep hitting it with my content until the system can't ignore me anymore. So I was like, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to upload a lot. I'm going to go for quantity. And also, long form is another tack you can take. I know Bonita Creek does shorts, and shorts are what I need to be doing. Long form creators should be making more shorts, and shorts creators should be making more mid to full length content, because YouTube wants to see that mix. So part of what's holding me back is right here, because I feel no joy making shorts. They don't do it. They don't do it. I need to do it. But it doesn't mean that I will. I need to cross-promote. I need to do all of the things. And there are needs, and then there's what will actually get done. And sometimes they don't intersect. I'm also, as I've said that I never thought I'd hit 5,000. 10,000 was a gift. So if I don't get more subscribers, well, I have to, because here's the thing. Infinite growth is not possible. And perfect retention is also not possible. I can't keep everyone. I've got y'alls, right? Y'alls are hanging around. And y'alls, this core group, we've got the pool, right? We've got 11,000 subscribers. Of that 11,000, we can tell by a daily viewing that about 4,000 of them are actually involved, because I have my mix of subscribed and not subscribed. Then we get down into the about 800 or so of you that are like the diehards. Then of that 800, we have the group of about 100, which are, you're the 1%ers, that are, you guys are in it. You guys are dropping gift memberships. You're sending gifts. You're sending stuff in to get built, stuff to have tested. You are actively, hyper-actively involved in the channel. And you are what keeps the channel going at the pace that it's going, right? Because it has been often said that expenses will expand to consume all available resources. And I am no different, because if I get more money, I build more toy cars. And I love building toy cars. So I can't keep them all. I don't have the space to keep them all. I have so many that it's kind of ridiculous to actually build any more. But here I go, because they keep making new ones, and I want the new ones. I want to try the new ones. I want to build more things. I want to build the kinds that I haven't built before. I haven't built a cross, but that doesn't mean I don't. Well, I'm halfway through building an HC6, but that's not. Curtis Knudsen is definitely a 1%er. Miata Commuter, Sputter Crawler, Shicker MT, Jimbo. I'm gonna forget a bunch. I'm gonna forget a bunch. There's like, it's not about the size of the contribution. It's about the degree of involvement. The man from Michigan, who I'm sure is in a pizza coma right now, because I haven't seen him pop up in the chat at all. So he probably ate too much pizza and passed out. Yeah, like, you guys are the regulars. You guys are the regulars. And again, when I say that I never thought this is a place I would find myself, it's not, that is not lip service. Like, I have said to my wife many times, I can't believe that we're married, because I recognize that I am an acquired taste. I came to an acceptance of that far too late in life, that no one person is everybody's cup of tea, to mix as many metaphors as I possibly can. But I don't make friends easy, and when I do make them, I keep them. I've known the blind guy over here since he was, how old were you first time paintball?
Sometime in middle school.
12, 13?
Something like that.
So I've only known him for just over 30 years. And that's how it goes, you know. So I've been here for years, but never sent anything except advice and technical explanations. Hey,
You're contributing.
you're contributing. Contributing is not just money. It's just like, you know what pleases me? I'll tell you what pleases me. What pleases me, perhaps more than anything else, is, according to the stats, which I can see my stats again, is that there is 155 concurrent viewers right now, and I'm not giving anything away. I like to see the numbers bump when I'm giving something away, but the fact that people will turn in just to hear a guy ramble and put a toy car together is, the word is heartening. It is heartening. Would you stop going to sleep? And now we slap on the front axle. I know it's not feasible, but it would be neat to see tire face-offs to fight for their score. So take all scares scored 95 or 65 and have a face-off to whom is best or worst in the group. That's not a bad idea, honestly. That's not a bad idea. But if not for, I would say it's at least 30% of tires were loaners to come in and be tested. So like, I don't have a lot of the tires, and well, I'm gonna pursue this a little farther. I think the only tires that really deserve being tested against each other are, you made a pretty good example with 95s and 65s, but I would say 97s and whatever the bottom rung guys are, because I probably have a bunch of them. I could do a whole series of just X tire versus Boom Racing Hustler, because that's part of it. Much like Apartment 1303, I'm trying to find the worst tire that we can. Sputter Crawler is a huge contribution to that effort, because he's constantly sending AliExpress clones of questionable quality, and some of them are surprising in that they are not as awful as we would suspect, and some of them are surprising in that they are somehow more awful than we would suspect. I didn't want to cut that bag open, so I got my own bag of screws out and I've started giving those away. Wait, you're not giving anything away? Well, that's it for me, guys. I was nodding off when you said stop going to sleep. Also benefit to post something RC related and get your opinion and other members. Keeps providing TRX4 as a platform to build anything versus getting H10 for special requirements. Yeah, you know what it makes me want to do? So, I'm in the midst of a trade between a gentleman, I can't remember who, Timming Doyle, on the Discord, who is sending me an H10 chassis, and I've genuinely forgotten what I'm trading him for. I will contact him in due time to get that through. So it makes me want to take an H10 chassis and just put TRX4 bits under it and just make a TRX4 H10. Because I've been making this awfully bold claim that you can build anything out of a TRX4. I wonder if I can build an H10 optic out of a TRX4. So it'd be an H4 optic.
Or a TRX optic.
A TRX optic. Did you pre-order the Holmes 2-in-1? I did not. And honestly, I probably would have if I had known Hobbywing was going to pull the old Terrafaru. I probably would have. Because we were like, oh, it's like $5. It costs $5 more than a Fusion, but now it costs less than a Fusion. So, yeah, TRX 10. Yeah. But H4 optic. Troptic is pretty good. H4 Troptic TRX 10? Yeah, we've got choices. Look at me. I'm building a wizard. Look at me. I've only put maybe 3 or 4 screws in the wrong places. And I think, I'm not 100%, but I think I've remembered to do almost all of the thread lock. I would say at least 80% of these fasteners are thread locked. That's pretty good. Good grief, I've never seen you take this long on TRX4. LOL. Well, TRX4s are a lot easier to build because they're all the same. There's only one TRX4. Yeah, I don't have to consult the manual multiple times for screw sizes because I just know them all. And Traxxas only uses like 4 different lengths of screws to build the whole thing. They're very good about that. They're anti-axial in that way. Also, someone geopolitical can let me know. Who knows geopolitics? I note suspiciously that none of the Traxxas prices changed. But everybody else hopped right up. I'm sure there are people who feel bad not affording to send in. No, I don't. No, never feel like you need to send me anything, ever. I've never asked. I might have asked for something, like tongue-in-cheekily, perhaps, but I've never asked anyone to send anything in. Not that I can think of. And I wouldn't, because if you have the resources, if you've taken care of everything you need to take care of in your life, and you have left over, and you feel like you want to send something in, I won't stop you. But never feel obligated. I would never ask. I would be more likely to give things away. And well, Traxxas is a Texas-based company, but they also don't manufacture in China. Traxxas is all Taiwan. Now, global politics, Taiwan is not China unless you're China, in which case you think everything is China. Not to wax too political, but Traxxas didn't go up in price. I'm looking for the colored washers that are used with flathead screws to dress up the fasteners that hold a chassis together. Where should I look? They are called concave washers. So, but I can post links now. And I just bought some not that long ago. And they come in big packs. There we go. $13.99, $4.60. Get link. Oh, how long has it been since I could post a link in the chat? And I know this one will stay because I'm the guy. So, Mr. Mazziotti, there is a link to the washers. And this seller, I linked to this seller specifically because they only have blue, black, gold, green, pink, purple, red, and silver, and they're all the same price, and they're all on Prime. That's, yeah, a link. I posted a link. If you need to send something in, send some dumb ideas. We haven't had a weekly dumb in a while. No, we really haven't. Yeah, Hugo was here at the beginning, and then he just disappeared. I know that he runs off to eat Spanish dinner, which they eat at like 10 o'clock at night, because that place doesn't follow any rules, apparently. If I ate at 10 o'clock, I wouldn't fall asleep until like 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, I would only buy those colored washers if they come in gigantic packs. If somebody was like, here's 10 of them, I'd be like, what am I going to do with 10 of them?
10 of them for the same price as these.
Yeah. They also, I can get you a link. They have the ones that are for cap heads, but I don't use those as much because they have much bigger bases and they don't fit in nearly as many places. I like the ones with the flat heads. They really dress up a carbon fiber. Yeah, he disappeared on family stuff. Oh yeah, that's that guy. That guy. Oh, once you posted that link, Hugo became irrelevant. I took his gerb. Now he's got no gerb.
Well, now his job can be all focused at the website.
Yeah. I haven't heard, that kid hasn't bugged me about the website in at least a week. Oh, he's at grandma's house entertaining. Oh. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? I don't want to bring down the level, but oh, my grandparents are dead. And if they weren't, that'd be crazy. Because my grandfather would be 110. Yeah, my grandfathers were born before the Great War. That's what they used to call World War I. Currently on a trip from Canada to Spain climbing. Every night I come home to my host eating dinner and playing chess with his kids at 10 p.m. There's a website in Jordan. Yeah, crawlercanyon.net. It's really in progress. He's being ignored by his dad and grandma's. That is cold. That is cold. Wow. That's offsides almost. Yeah, it's flooding me back the memory of how stiff these shocks are when they're brand new. Really stiff. I think they're too short. They're too short for my style of driving, is what it is. I like a bit more travel. No, take that back. I get just the right amount of travel. I don't want too much. I don't want to be that guy from Facebook. But I also don't want the skateboardy action. So what we finally end up with on this is a question mark. I'm running out of plastic bags to throw away.
What bag are you on now?
I don't know. I already threw it away. Jay? It's got the transfer case in it and everything. Are we going to talk bad about boom slang now? I'm all for listening. I hope most of you don't remember what you were doing at 19. I definitely don't. I need to ask him what's up with his hair. Has it gotten taller? That last thumbnail I saw, it was tall. His hair was getting taller and taller. If it's gotten taller still, I might have to tune into a video. 5x08. I don't know why I'm installing this tray. This is basically getting the same electronics package that's on Madame Mim. And I don't have anything on this tray. So we're installing it for installation's sake. Chassis weight. Need a little sprung weight now and again. Well, I mean, it's a piece of Delrin and a piece of carbon fiber that weighs... We're putting about 10 grams in here. Tire question. Did you ever find a combo to make the Pitbull Rock Beast do work, or do I just turn them into a trail tire? I never got any. The only Pitbulls that worked here remotely okay were the Braven Blood Axe and the PBX AT. I don't know what it is about Pitbull, about Comp and Alien. They don't like it here. I'm starting to take it personal from Pitbull. Because I know people have a lot of success with them, but my God, are they expensive. They are unconscionably expensive. I remember seeing the like Rock Beast XLs in Alien are like $45 a pair. His hair has definitely gotten weirder. He's got a beard now? Damn, I am going to have to tune into one. What chain wax do you recommend? Squirt or smooth? I think overall I prefer I prefer smooth the most, followed by squirt. I don't like any of the White Lightning products. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. I don't like them. They don't work as well. Smooth and squirt, whichever one you can find that is cheaper, buy that one. This bottle right here is smooth, and squirt looks like this. Squirt chainlet. Those are my two go-tos. My smooth bottle turned itself inside out and collapsed. Like, I don't know, solvent flashing or whatever. It was collapsing on itself, so it ended up in there. Big Mike's was overseas in Desert Storm at 19. I did notice that Shop Mini RC hasn't been back since the kit conversation. It's not too hot here all the time. Thoughts on the Class 1 S3 Kraken Claw as a trailing tire? Yeah, it'd probably be fine if you're trailing on Class 1s. I can't imagine trailing on Class 1s. But Miata Commuter does it, so that clearly means that it's a thing. I like me a nice 5-inch tire for trailing. You get more rollout. You get farther. Yeah, they don't work in the Northeast also, and $45 a pair. Yeah, I don't get it. I get paid to hike, camp, and play with fire. Hey. Hey. I was going to be introduced to becoming a dad back then.
19, I went blind.
Yeah, that guy went blind at 19. So he went up to all of you. Okay. Now we got to put the drive shaft Taroos on. But how do I know which one is one? Are they marked with lengths? No. 83 to 93. Okay, that's that one. So I need the middle one. Wait, is that the front one or the middle one? That's the middle one. Okay. That's the middle one. And it goes that way. All right. It also looks like, I'll be able to confirm right now. So there is now a shim on the T case where we were supposed to add shims. There's a metal spacer on the T case to stop it from flopping. Not from dropping. No, I guess it does still need the shims. All right, so I will put those shims on. So, here's the deal. I didn't notice this on mine when I was putting it together, but there's this little guy on there, but we still need to put, I think he said 4 of the shims on. I still don't have them on mine, so they're definitely not critical. I think they probably just help keep the noise down because they stop the shaft from shimmying back and forth. 3 and come here. 4. I know, but I haven't taken that part of mine apart to put the shims on it. No, I didn't have them. They sent it. He sent them after I'd already built it. So we're doing 4.1, and 0.1 is very, very thin. That's what okay, one just fell off. So I'll find another one. And it didn't just fall off, by the way. Whatever the OD is on that, I think these are 5x7s. It fell into my keyboard. So that's in my keyboard, presumably forever. Yeah, it looks. Oh, that looks too thick. I'm pulling one off. Yeah, I think it's 3. Now, let me see if we give the wiggle. No, it can take 4. It can take 4. I shouldn't have second guessed. I shouldn't have dropped a shim into my keyboard. It'll rattle. It's a mechanical keyboard. It can use more shims. The trail runner lives again, going trailing this weekend. Nice. 4.19s are big. Yeah. I was knee deep in very expensive destructive meth habit at 19. Wow, that's going on. Is it insensitive to ask the blind guy went blind? He got a brain tumor, and it severed his optic nerve.
It's my optic nerve too. You want to put that in the camera frame?
We can do it with this one. We can do it this way easier. So this is he got a was it MRI?
Yeah.
So he got a tattoo of the MRI, and this fellow right here was a brain tumor about the size of a lemon. So it chomped off a big bite of his optic nerve to his right eye. So he's got nothing in the right? 0?
Nothing in the right, about 50% on the left.
He's got 50% acuity in the left and about nothing in the right. But he's visually impaired in that blind in one eye, but he's got like 20/30 vision in the eye that still has the function in it. So I have to wear glasses. How would you rate the Wizard versus a metal axle VRD? This is kind of the next step up. Like this is a step above a metal axle VRD. Those shocks are so stiff. The fit and the finish, the fact that everything is machined, there are no 3D printed pieces, there are no molded pieces. Every single part of this thing is machined. No, I mean, that's not true. I mean, the rod ends are molded. You know what I mean. Even the skid is machined, Delrin. Everything is machined. It has a level of fit and finish that is, the only way to state it is that it's just higher than everything else. It's really quite something. I wish everyone had the opportunity to build one. Shouldn't gears have a bit of play for each one? Yes. This one had too much in the top, though. And now that I see where the shims go, I might just manufacture my own spacer that is the included spacer plus the shims. Because you do want it to have some movement to it, but it has excessive play in it, which is what the shims are for. So I'm assuming that they're just going to be remachining that piece for later kits to be thicker. So many of you had no shenanigans at 19. Yeah, I certainly didn't. My XXX main order just showed up. Now I have to paint bodies. The weather's going to be crap for the next week. So if you don't want to paint bodies, we're supposed to have, basically, if it's below 65, I try not to paint because it's too cold. So just don't paint. Had to use 4 of the shims. Yeah, that's what I put on here. I just got a Series 2 body for my BRX02 Leaf chassis. Can't wait to start painting it. That makes one of us. It looks like a brain potato.
That basically was.
When I got stung in the eye, my left eye, it damaged my optic nerve, so I'm blind in one eye and can't see out of the other. You two are you're in the same boat.
But did you get stung in your left or right eye?
He got stung in his left eye.
So we are a match set.
Yeah.
If you combine us, we're one person.
The way I kicked it was I stuck my thumb out on State Highway 1 and hitchhiked around New Zealand for 4 years. Problem is, today, if you tried to hitchhike around America that way, they'd never find you. You get murdered, and you get fed to whatever the local wildlife was that was the size to eat people. Yeah, drop you off at a pig farm. Pigs will eat anything, even the bones. I got wise this time, which is install that upper shaft first, because if you don't, it's basically the exact length of the opening, and then you can't get the dang thing to go together. Trauma bonding! It's true. We've all got it in different ways. I would have had I said it before. I would have had a very different trajectory. Had already joined the good old USMC. Well, had signed up, done all the thing. And then my wife was like, "We should get married." That was that. A trucker mass murderer will get you hitchhiking. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if truckers have room for passengers in cabs anymore.
Oh, yeah.
They can only drive for so long.
But they've still got big sleepers.
Mm.
I like America's got it all. If you want to see it, we've got it.
Got a big hole in the ground.
Gotta go. It's the son's 15th birthday and we're going bowling. Oh, man. I wish I was going bowling.
Wow, since I've been bowling.
MKRC defends that truckers aren't bad. No. Most truckers aren't bad. Most truckers aren't bad. But it doesn't matter. You could go through a group of pediatric nurses and nuns, and you would find a couple of them in there psychopaths. So we can't just discount that all truckers are good people. You're gonna find some bad ones. So the rear is the 74 to 84 seat. Yes, it's the shortest one in the Bach.
Oh. Front would have been the shortest.
No, because it's T case. So the T case is back a little ways. Yeah. I'm remembering now. I'm gonna have to hit this car with a hammer. Because I pushed this. My hammer! The wizard broke my hammer!
It is a mighty wizard.
I thought it was supposed to go the other way on the bearing, and I knocked it all the way in. And that fit is so tight. We only use the finest techniques. I missed your overall opinion of the 4 Voodoo Shocks. Price is null for me. The Voodoo Shocks are fantastic, but the thing is, for me, I think they're too short for the vehicle. You got to have the hammer. I want a bit longer of a shock, and they are so tightly toleranced that when you first drive the vehicle, it's like driving a skateboard. Like there's no compliance to it at all because the shocks need to break in. I had mentioned, I think on the Discord, I called them 3,000 milliamp shocks, which means you got to I run an 850 pack. You need to run about 4 or 5 packs through it to start to get the suspension to cycle in because everything is so stiff. It's crazy stiff. But in terms of how well, they definitely don't leak. They 100% do not leak. The drive shafts are well made. Every part of it is well made. Hit it with your purse. I don't know you. That's my purse. There we go. Here we are. There he is. There I go. As a young person who's around all these old people, I'm glad to be able to say I'm at least not that old. You'll get there. You'll get there!
Happens to everyone eventually.
I gave up drinking and weed because I forgot to buy weed and beer. But I think I can give up nicotine, not for a day. I died at 17 in a car wreck. Died in the chopper on the way to the hospital. Almost completely deaf on the right. And plates reconstructing my left eye socket and rod in my femur. Would not recommend. Yes. Do you need a special bowling ball that fits banana hands? I know I've mentioned this before, but it bears repeating. My first bowling ball that was for me meaning no more rolling the house ball, was an ebonite yellow dot, which I got from my grandmother, and I didn't have to have it re-drilled. So, right there. But on a lady from the Midwest. Did not have to have it re-drilled. No, I roll the same ball as everybody. I haven't rolled my Cuda C in a couple of years. No, that's not true. I took it to Laughlin. I rolled my Cuda C last year, and prior to that, I hadn't rolled it in a couple of years. And good grief, good gravy. Good grief and good gravy. It's getting too heavy for me. I'm getting too old. That is absolutely zero tolerance. It was a 16 pound. It was 16.3. So they make the ball heavier than 16 pounds. And then once it's drilled, it's 16 pounds exactly. And let me tell you something. I can really feel the weight of a 16-pound bowling ball now. I'm getting old. I love bowling. Bowl decent in the USBC Open here in Baton Rouge. Maybe I'll make some money. I'll see you in July. I made money on one sweeper one time because I had like a breakout week in the sweeper week. So I had established my average for the whole year, right? It was like, it probably from a distance looked like the ultimate exhibition of sandbagging, which for non-bowlers, sandbagging is you bowl worse than you actually can. You keep your average low, and then when it comes to the time to make money, you bowl really well and you make a bunch of money. So it looked like I properly sandbagged it because I had averaged low 170s for the league.
Low 170s?
Yeah, I want to say 174.
That's still pretty damn good.
I think I averaged 174 for that league. And then in the 3 games of the sweep, I think I averaged 206. I shot a 600 series in the sweeps. And people were like, this son of a bitch. Because anybody who goes in with you in a sweeper, you really have to know how bowling sweepers work. Where you go in with other people and then you have an opportunity to win a bunch of money.
You're paired and you're scored.
Yeah, you're paired and you're scored. So basically, if you go in with someone else and they break out and bowl way above their average, you make a bunch of money. And I made like $300 in one day, circa like early 1990s when $300 meant something, not just one trip to Costco. Proline XL dual stage foams are being impossible to mount for me right now. I want to hit these wheels with a hammer. Or if you're not mounting them on the Proline wheels, they're just going to fight you the whole way. Breaking the Wizard shocks with the weight and runtime will get her done. I need to make a shock, like a wheel with the offset to just to cycle the shock. I have a confession. I feel comfortable with you guys. I haven't touched my crawlers in about 6 months. Gasp!
Well, that's nothing. I haven't driven a crawler since last year.
Is that a special edition AGFRC? Yes, it is. It has a snake on it. It has a snake. Very snaky. 003 of the A75 Bum W. 765 ounces, I think. You lose your hobby man card. I know, I'm a worthless person. I have my dad's Brunswick. It's 15 pounds and it's got the banana requirement. There's a bright one from the MRC. Oh, okay, Mr. C. 1200 kV or 1800 for a 10 Pro. I would say 1200 unless you ever plan on putting, 1200 regardless. If you put the portals on it, you need a Pro and a belt drive because you literally over double the gear reduction. I would 1200 because I want to say that's what's in Bluebird. I believe Bluebird's at 1200. I think Bluebird's at 1200, and I think that Rainbird is also at 1200. 1800 will be pretty zippy. I got to get back to pulling weeds for the little old neighbor lady. Don't get the cops called on you like that guy I saw on YouTube Shorts this morning where he was weeding some old lady's front yard and the cops told him they were going to arrest him for interfering with municipal something. And I was like, oh, God. Not that the government is overreaching or anything. Crawlers are so foreign here. I asked about RC crawler groups nearby, and everyone thought I meant religious curb crawler groups. Yeah, I guess it's not super big in some locales. Like there's like only one big crawler scene in all of Japan. At least that's what I've heard. But I mean, it kind of makes sense. If it's a place that traffics heavily in some other pursuit, I kind of get it. Why does that? Oh, okay, never mind.
Japan is all RC drift cars.
Drift cars. Well, sedan racing. They still love sedan racing. Did you get my email? No. When did you send it? Like, if you sent it during this live stream, no, I definitely haven't gotten it. If you sent it before, give me a hint, and I'll let you know. So to make myself feel something, I bought a Losi 5T. Good grief. Oh, Evan Jordan saw the same thing. If he had charged him her $1, it would have been fine. Yeah, you have to, you make her a customer. Yeah, you got to get her, you engage in a contract. Still, I mean, come on, that's some bullshit is what that is. Leave that man alone, leave that old woman alone.
Yeah.
It seems like one of those things where they're trying to drive somebody out of their house so they can buy it. Oh, 2 minutes ago? No, Neil Daniels, I definitely haven't checked my email in 2 minutes.
Talking to everyone.
I mean, like this is what I'm talking about. Look at it, just that's everything hooked up. That actually, you know what I just realized? That's a wizard. I built a wizard. Bag L is just extra screws. Best overall 2.2 tire of all time, or like you can go and buy right now? Because all of the best 2.2 tires you can't have. They are the Hot Bodies HPI Sedona, the Panther Cougar, the Losi Rock Claw, the Proline Chisel. So you can't get them. That you can get today, 2.2 LP Rupture. If you just want performance, if your goal is performance and nothing else, 2.2 LP Rupture. I still say that 2.2 LP Rupture is the most capable tire that there is right now, because it has a better range of fitments than Sedonas, Cougars, Rovers, Rock Claws, any of those tires. And they are reasonably readily available. Right behind the 2.2 Rupture, I would say 2.2 Tusk. Now, if they do indeed grace us with a 2.2 Megalithic LP Megalithic, hold on, because that's probably going to be, you're going to see a lot of that tire. I don't know why they haven't given us a 2.2 LP Megalithic. We're waiting.
And now the Tusk is LP as well.
Yeah. The only tires in LP right now are
You would say LP, so it's not the normal Tusk.
well, I mean, I would say that the best Class 2 tire overall is the Tusk. Overall. Right behind it, the Megalithic. But I would take the Tusk overall. Are we going to put any kind of accent color on this thing? You want any kind of accent color on this? Like, what color are we painting the bodies? This body and any future body. What color? I've got green. I got blue. I've got red. I've got gold.
Two colors that don't go together?
Well, I should put green and red. I should do a mix of green ones and red ones so you can't tell the difference. That'll teach you a lesson. You're not able to see color. Best chassis for the VS410 Phoenix. Zoku. Overall. Like, I would say Zoku Phoenix is, like, in terms of pure performance, you can probably get more. Like, in order to get more, you're going to have to make it not a Phoenix. So, to keep it as a Phoenix, Zoku. What does it mean if your name is White? I don't know. I don't know. Everyday minimalist with a check mark. I don't know what that is.
Bad.
No, like, I've never seen that. Like, my name comes up yellow with black. I don't know what that is. I'm waiting to see if Upgrade RC comes out with a 2.2 Rock Claw. They might. Not red. I have a green one in my hand right now. I'm probably going to slap green. I mean, you know, there's no such thing as permanent. There are degrees of permanence. Oh, hey, I neglected to take any pictures. I know that I spend a lot of time doing nothing. That's what I say my wife says all the time, but she really doesn't. She gets really mad when I say that. But I got not one, but two things off the whiteboard today. I made the new gate bases for the yellow course and the red course. So for front 9 and back 9. Oh, he's a verified YouTuber. Somebody go find out how many subs verified Everyday Minimalist has. Verified Everyday Minimalist. Somebody go Google, somebody go look him up. Search for Everyday Minimalist. I want to find out who it is. Paint the body hot pink. He wouldn't be able to tell it was pink. It's 2 or 3 weeks left at Northwest Scalar Designs, and it's going to Merchant Metal Fab. Then I get to get the rest of the parts and send it all to you. Oh. What motor or combo do you suggest for the 6x6? You could honestly get away with a Fusion Pro. You could get away... Well, okay. It also kind of depends on what build you're going with. I would have... Basically, here's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to run through in my head what kind of options can I give you that aren't Hobbywing? Because the Hobbywing prices just went up across the board. And, you know, I don't want to be like, oh, just get this $160 one. I'm running an old axe. If you can find somebody selling an old axe, it'd be great. That's what... 579,000. Hot damn. Evan Jordan asks, I hear a lot about the 6x6. What's that about? On the Discord, we are doing the limited run of the Jolly Green. Which is it still under here? Yes. So we're doing a kit. We're doing a kit where me and Zoku are collabing. It's Crawler Canyon X Zoku, and we're doing a run of 6x6 of this, the Jolly Green chassis that I designed. And the first dozen or so chassis are being cut somewhere around as we speak right now. And we will be very limited in editioning them to a reasonably small number because I will get tired of making them. If you go to the Discord, there's a link to the Discord in the channel description. You can go to the Discord, and it has its own sub-channel called Even Jollier Greenery. And you go down to Even Jollier Greenery, and it's where we're discussing any of the updates. There won't be anything shipping until probably around late June. How many are you at? We have sold 16 so far, which honestly, and I know that this is the airing of honesties today, 16 blows my mind. I didn't think we would get to 10. That's why I set the limit, to the minimum buy-in at 10. I would love a walnut bed for my 6x6. I mean, somebody might be able to talk me into it, you know? I'm not ruling anything out. I mean, if somebody sent me in lumber, I'll start cutting beds. But I have not personally purchased hardwood in too long of a time to even recall. Want to see if the included horn will fit this thing. Yes, it will. Ooh, look at all that silver on silver. Now with the 4 dots of green, it seems really out of place. 4 inexplicable dots of green. There we go. There we go. I've posted a vid on EDC RC gear, if that means anything. Oh, hey. I'm glad I didn't have to buy a 6x6 chassis. I see you. It's class 2 anyway. It wouldn't have worked out for you.
Put it on class 1.
Yeah, you can put it on class 1s. I have some scraps I can send you. Oh, I'd pay for a flatbed for my trail truck. Now, see, making a bed to fit something unknown is going to be tough. Really difficult. Because all of the parts, when I built Jolly Green, I never intended to make more than one. So he was built bespoke. Then I had someone kindly offer to do the render, to turn it into a DXF file to be cut. And then Zoku, I asked if Zoku would get in on it and help me with the 3D print part design, that kind of stuff. And he was like, yeah, that's easy stuff. So that's really the only reason it's happening. Otherwise, I intended to build one. I built one. That would have been the one that I built.
You built one.
I built one.
Of
I don't look at anything in terms of mass production, or I'm that part of my life is over. I don't do that anymore. Making anything to fit something unknown is impossible. What that guy just said. So Everyday Minimalist is a knife guy. So you should get on that. You should be watching the Everyday Minimalist videos, because the blind guy over here, for whatever reason, is addicted to knives.
I barely watch your channel.
Yeah, he does defend himself by saying that he barely watches my channel, and that's true. And he probably, and I think this is fair, I think you're on it more than you watch it. Because you're here about every other live stream. So that's like, that would be 30 minutes a day. You would have to watch my channel 30 minutes a day, 7 days a week to match. You're definitely here more than you're watching. Yeah. I don't even know if I should bother putting these together because we have parts ordered. I can unbag them though, just to look at how pretty the pieces are. I mean,
when they squeak together, yeah. Tolerance.
Nothing goes better together better than knives and blindness.
I've only cut myself once. And that was as a youth.
That's the thing. I would be willing to wager that sighted people probably cut themselves with knives more often, because it's just like why I don't believe in saw stop for table saws, because it breeds complacency. People are like, oh, I don't have to worry about this thing. It can't cut me. Yeah, until you're using the saw that can. So, like, complacency is what kills more than anything. If I make you something, you'll have to send me the correct measurements or the parts. Oh, he's talking to somebody else. I know. I still need. That clicked in my head because I still need to measure Nigel. I can do it right now. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna throw away this unused thread lock because I got too much. I need to make a measurement for MKRC builds. I'm gonna grab Nigel. I guess its name is just Nigel because the driver is Nigel, and now we have Nigel. Look how perfectly an RC4 just fits in the bed. Okay, so he asked for measurements between certain points. His hand was on the shifter, but it's off now. There we go. Look at him. He's going. All right. So we have the two. I'm assuming you mean that he means these two posts, these holes right here, the ones that are already existing. Yes? Is that right? Yes? Yes? Okay. I'm going to assume. There's a local guy that's completely blind and is a woodworker running lathes, chop saws, table saw. He just goes by the blind woodsman. Wow.
I made a bowl once.
Reminds me of my middle son begging, I want a knife. 30 seconds later saying, I don't want one anymore as he was bleeding. Yeah. I purchased an Energy Capra 1.9 metal roll cage for a build. Would appreciate any advice on other parts I should get. What like? Capra axles? Do you need any more 10-inch figures? I mean, I could definitely use some, but I know how expensive it is to ship things from the UK, so I'm not going to be like, yeah, hit me up. So center to too long. This is why I have so many different lengths of rulers, because they won't all fit. All right. Mr. Pen coming super handy. So center to center, of course. It can't be an even measurement. And I can't read fractional millimeters. It gives me a headache.
Can't you use your metric caliper, or is it too long?
No. Do that. I once put a hobby knife full depth into my hand due to willy-nilly trimming a body for a backslash I built. You see this right here? See how it moves? Number 11. So you got this guy right here like this, right? And I had a piece of pipe, right? I was holding the pipe like this and I was reaming the inside edge of the pipe. But now it's not this thick, right? Think it's that big on the outside, but it's, you know, it's about that big. So I'm reaming the edge of it and the blade breaks. And this comes down and goes right like that, straight in. It would be what I called at the time a blood faucet. It was the one, unfortunately, not the first time in my life that I've seen blood actually pour out of my body. Like, not a drip, not a stream. Like, it went, I wish that I had, like, take a water bottle and just squeeze it like that, and the blood was coming out like that. So I stabbed it pretty deep. Did I get stitches? No. Come on. Come on. You only get stitches if it won't stop bleeding. 101 millimeters. Well, 101.4. I didn't check to see if this was, yeah, it's zeroed. So center to center, I'll triple check it. Call it 101. I got 101.2 on that one. Okay. 101 millimeters center to center. The holes themselves are, it looks bigger than 5. Come on, Nigel. Oh, it's got a little tab in the bottom. 6.5. 6.5 millimeters around. I'd probably just drill them all the way through and wash them from the bottom, probably. 6.5 millimeter hole. They're 101 millimeters apart. And then I believe he said you need to know the distance from there to like somewhere up here on the fender. Yeah, letting the life out. Yeah, a little too much too far. I got stabbed in the kidney in Germany during a bar fight. Oh, hey. Man, Chuck Hurley just living it up.
Yes.
Like, I almost got killed in Germany. How about you? We'll go like center-ish. Oh, okay, here we go. Here we go. I got a better one. 285 from there to there would be like the back of the flat, and then the front of the flat is about 340. So from 285 to 340. So if you were going to go right in the middle of it, I would say 310-ish from the front hole. From the front hole to there is about 310. And they are directly in line with each other. So where's Victor? So if we go across the center of those holes, It's like right down into the middle of the fender. So 285 to there, about what did I say? 340 to about 310 would put you right about in the middle. What else? What am I missing? If I'm missing anything, let me know. I always close the doors in the wrong order. Look how good MKRC builds. Look how good that is. Look how good that diesel is on there. Look at that. And I got the tension fit by putting some cap head screws in there to mount the bracket. So I don't even have to glue it in. Oh, how wide in the back? That's a good question. Now, that, I don't think we can go with that. So we're going to have to go... Let's hope we have a ruler that's close. Hey! Okay, center to center. It's 25. Nope, gotta go. 1, 3, and I gotta math it together. 205. 205. That's odd of you, FMS, to give us an even measurement of 205. Servo test 1/10 versus Rhino T70. I don't think I've used either of those because I got the other one. I got the what is the name of their website? RC Timer. I got the RC Timer with mine. Long ago, I bought a sword. It was sharp as hell. Not sure how long, but over 3 feet. It was among the most dangerous things I've ever held for sure. I haven't cut myself in ages. The blades keep dulling. Okay, stabbed in the kidney. That's what super glue is for. Oh, fun one. You can indeed super glue a cut together. It works great. You know what you should never do? Never, if you put super glue on a cut, never put this stuff on it.
Down in the bowling alley, get yourself some True Skin.
Because this will create a chemical reaction, which will make a fire inside your body. I drilled a hole in a fingernail with a Dremel. And I filled the hole with super glue, and it wasn't drying. So I just put a little dab of Instaset accelerator on it, and it felt like I plugged my finger into an outlet. So from the deck up, you would probably want to be, so 25 above his head, 20 to 25 above his head. We would need 160, right about 160 millimeters to get above his head. Closest I've come to being stabbed is when I got through a big plate glass shop window. Hey! My stepdad got tired of using a machete for blackberry briars, so he went and bought a samurai sword. Nice. Nice. Yeah, I've luckily, Mr. Hiscock, I have successfully never stabbed myself with a chisel. It's been number 11s. The number 11, the great boon and bane of my life. From those holes on the inner fenders. Holes in the inner fenders. I don't know which. I don't know which. Those holes in the inner fenders. So what? Oh, I was measuring from this flat right here. That's where I was going 160 millimeters from. I don't. What other holes? Rear inner fender. Yeah. I measured from the tops of these. Yeah. So I went like this. I went right off of the top of that. And I would say 160. Gets it about 20 millimeters above the top of his head. Yeah. Could maybe go a little lower. Between 155 and 160. Yeah. That was my assumption. We so are the top of the front fenders level with the holes in the back. Yeah. I would say that they are. It might be a millimeter lower. But if it is, that's what washers are for. No, it's definitely close enough. It's definitely close enough. I'm telling you. After the cameras were off on Wednesday, I drag raced the kid trying to catch old Nigel with Bruce. Can't do it. Can't do it. He's too much lighter, and he's got that rollout of those big old 5.25s. Problem with swords is that they are longer than you think and extremely tempting to swing. Yeah. I got stabbed in the butt cheek by sort of accident by a mate messing about. He thought it had stuck in my wallet, which was in my back pocket. Nope. 6 stitches. Very embarrassing. Wow. My brother had chisel shrapnel stuck under his belly skin, and doctor couldn't find it, so he whipped out his pen magnet and hung it and said, "It's right there." Getting ready to head into Central Park, New York City for some night comp crawling. Wow. That actually sounds really cool, and I have no desire to go to New York City. Like, none. There's no reason you could get me to go to New York City. Look, I just talked about this a second ago. I didn't particularly enjoy, I just noticed, I saw blackness right there. See how we have a marker light? Yeah, this is what happens when your kids drive your vehicles. I'm going to have to do some, like, Bondo work on this guy. Look how nice Nigel sits in there. He does look like he's going to dispose of a body because of the white overall, but, you know, he's having a good time. It did great as well. I mean, I think a select few of you saw. Oh, did you see my emails but too lazy to reply? I definitely replied to one. Watch, I'm going to go to my emails. I'm going to have like 70 emails. Well, here's the thing. Here's my complaint to Apple. 6 unread emails. When I go into my emails, that's like 100 unread emails. Okay. So here's the Neil Daniels. Can you show this on the stream for driver A to see? Yes. Oh, you know what I could do? I can do better than that. I just remembered I have email on the very computer that this stream is on. So I can actually open that email. Okay. Yeah, it's 3:18. Whoa! Neil Daniels sent some big pictures. All right, now we'll shrink that down, and we'll shrink this down, and we'll close this, and then we'll go like this. Oh yeah, here we go. We go back to here. So Neil Daniels sent this, I don't know how long. Boop. So he said that he wanted the guy to see this. There we go. Look at that. I did a thing. I was just going to hold my phone up in front of the camera like the absolute Luddite that I am. An absolute Luddite. And then, while I have my email open, I can look at my emails on the computer instead of squinting at my phone as I age. I can feel it. Feel myself aging. Hey! Those of the Discord will know. For whatever reason, A-Main had the Zool for $250. So I bought one. I don't need one, but it was $250. It shipped today. It shipped my Zool. I don't know what I'm going to do with it.
Back ordered.
No, well, it was on sale and on back order, and it shipped already. I don't understand. Okay, those are the Amazon deliveries. Don't need that. Okay, some guy said shipping costs. If Robert is still there, shipping cost to North Carolina wouldn't be more than like $8. Poolsville, Washington would be maybe less, but think about the same. Okay, so it looked like everybody pretty much claimed all that stuff like immediately. That's good. I can get it out of here. The drive shaft that I need today has been delayed. That's awesome. Love to see it. Gundam. Oh, and then I definitely responded back to at least one MKRC email. I'm sure of it. Sure of it. I said, I still need to measure that thing. I said, 15 degrees looks pretty good. Could go even a little steeper. I just need to measure the dishes on Nigel. I just keep forgetting. And I did that. When did I buy the Zool? Like 3 days ago? 3 days ago? Nigel looks like a serial killer. Yeah, I mean, he does look like he's going to get rid of a body. 10 minutes. No, he's not wrong. 3:20.
Go back. Here's the official time.
Someone on the Discord was like, hey, check it out. The Zool is like $250. I want to see now. If they shipped one, that should mean that they're back in stock. I want to see if they're still $250. Still $250. And it still says back order. I bought it on the 22nd. Oh, I'm doing that thing again. Look what I can do. Yeah, there it is. It's the regular Zool, not the IFS2 one. So it's live axle all the way around. But like, I don't need it. But yeah, see, purchased on Tuesday, April 22nd. Sputtercrawler told me about the Zool. There you go. I didn't need a Zool. Why not? I'm buying one 3 days ago. I just bought a Zool for $200. I'm going to order another right now. They're still $250. Yeah. I did they're like, yes, the blue one is the Zool 2 with IFS. I don't want the IFS one. I want the regular one. Honestly, I might just leave it basically as is. Put a fusion or a brush or a better brush combo in it and just have it like as a handout, that type of thing. Because once you open your mind to stuff like this, you can get away with a lot. Like, it doesn't really matter what your componentry is. You just need big batteries and you need to like the way that it looks. There's those KYX shocks. They worked absolutely great. The kid rolled it a couple times and gave Nigel a scar on his eyebrow, but he came all right. Ever mess with the IFS? Yes, I've done IFS 1 and 2. How long until there's an Element Vigo? They're mad. You know that they're mad that J Concepts took the Gozer from them. Because they were covering the whole Ghostbusters gauntlet with the Gatekeeper and the Ecto and the Zool. And now they can't have the Gozer. They can't have Gozer the Gozerian. Bought the IFS2 like 2 months ago and just got it out of the box. I started stripping her already, but I wouldn't mind another Zool that is fresh. I mean, it's tough to pass up $250. Oh, my battery's full. That thing's probably not. I can plug it in. Well, With a response like that, I'm not going to jump on it. Yeah, Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. That's what Element needs next. And honestly, it really makes me want to start taking some cheap Amazon wheels to the lathe and turning grooves in them. The grooves makes, and look at the difference in depth of the grooves. It really makes me, they make such a difference. They make such a difference. Yeah, they don't have a keymaster. And they don't have a slimer, though, you know, I guess they could. Have a great, what is the difference between the Ecto and the Zool? Benjamin, yeah, it's the body. Underneath, an Ecto and a Zool are the same thing. Now, objectively, the Zool body is a better body. I will say that. And I have definitely more Ecto bodies than I do Zool bodies. But that Zool body is great. Plus, you get that sweet Reedy motor and ESC for free. The Reedy setup, the Reedy crawler setup, is one of the only setups that, honestly, if they switched to going with a 2-in-1, it would be an improvement. Most times, going to a 2-in-1, you're like, oh, God, here we go. Oh, maybe it didn't go in the keyboard. I think I found that shim. Next element should be a Vigo.
I just call it gray.
I mean, will we... There's the fun game to play. There's the fun mental game. I think the Zool has smaller tires. The IFS, the Zool 2 has smaller tires. The regular Zool has the same element grabbers as the Ecto. Same exact tires. I don't even know if the wheels are different. Save all the Reedies for a MOA. Even then, you will still be astonished at how little torque those things provide. It's genuinely impressive how they made a motor so gutless. Yeah, Ed got missed all day. What does goal mean? Oh, you can choose, you can set goals for super chats. Oh, yeah, that's like following your rings. I just don't advise that people do it. You won't find me setting a super chat goal. That is not my jam. I'm not, yeah, that's not the specific reason. This is the Friday toy car hangout. I'm not going to spoil it by actively monetizing it. Like, I turned off ads because I did not want to be bothered. I wouldn't want to watch a stream where ads are going off every 10 seconds. Well, I mean, that's a big part of the reason why I bought premium. Because I gave in. I gave up. I realized that my life is just a series of intersecting microtransactions, and then there's nothing that we can do about it. This is the way the world works now. Just live on microtransactions. So, you know, I've got the usual amount of finishing it up to do, and I will do that. And then we will run it straight axle. You know, we've all seen that before. It's basically the same. What does chat rate 2 mean? What does chat rate mean? If I asked Siri, she would just say, here's what I found on the web. That's not helpful at all. So we'll get it put together. I don't even know. Let's be honest about it. I don't even know if I want to mount the KLRs on it. We've already done that. We need to throw some different tires on this and see what it'll do. We've seen it on megalithics and we've seen it on KLRs. We need to see it on rock blocks. We got to throw some tires on this thing and see what it does. Tusks, deep woods. I've got some 3D printed and some deep wood. We're going to try some different tires on this because we can, and we have 2 of them.
Well, my question is, will the mullet outperform a straight axle?
We can do that. We can do that for sure. So stiff.
Just having the portals in the back make a difference.
Oh. Does 10 millimeters sound good for a rack pipe size? 10 millimeter might be
pretty thick.
That'd be pretty thick. I would say 7 or 8. Mr. Mythigan, unfortunately, the Baja MTZs went on middle school desk. It was too perfect. It worked too good on those tires. I couldn't take it apart, so it went with it. I got some super soft inserts in the groundhogs. We've got a number. There's stuff on the rack that we can try, and we will try those things. So I see the time on the thing. It is that time. It's martini time, everybody. It is martini time again. Jonathan D just getting in here for the last about 30 seconds of these shenanigans. Just as we're closing it up. There will be all of the usual things coming up next week. It'll be in the schedule for the members. We're gonna do the things. Whose radio is this? Whose radio is this? It doesn't have any writing on it, and it just says Model 1. What radio is this? It has batteries in it. Wait, does it have endpoints on it? No model names. It does have endpoints set on it. Oh, man.
I think it goes to your wizard.
This is why I got... Nope. The wizard one is on like 5... There's like 5 things. Oh! This is Nigel's radio. Came out of his bed. Remember when I said it fits so good in his bed? Anywho. Thanks, everybody. Did we have a good time? Yes. Did we ever use camera 2 today? No, we didn't. We'll find a place that we can mount camera 2 and use it more often. And we'll do all the usual things. Quick view tomorrow. Cabs on Sunday. Something on Monday that I've forgotten. Something on Tuesday that I also can't remember. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for joining us here in the canyon. We're going to spin this, and then we're gonna do our usual thing. We spin us in, we spin us out. And then what we'll do is we'll turn all the things off, and I'll let it run for a little while because I never know how long the delay is.